Sports. Fred McLeod, Eyewitness News.
Because of the following special CBS Sports presentation, Simon & Simon will not be televised tonight, but will return next Thursday at this time.
The Lakers and the Celtics in all those memorable wars. It was Jerry West's jump shot, John Havlicek's determination, Wilt Chamberlain in the middle against Bill Russell. But it was always Red Auerbach lighting his victory cigar. Now Magic Johnson and these Lakers are trying to change it against Larry Bird and these Celtics. The Lakers arrived here late from Phoenix, used this hotel ballroom to install their game plan. And once they hit the parquet floor of the Boston Garden, they never stopped running. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shook off the effects of a migraine headache, poured in 32 points. And for the Celtics, the frustrations continued to mount. Round one of this NBA championship series belonged to Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers. Continues to pound the Boston area, but it's dry inside. So welcome to the Boston Garden. It's the Celtics and the Lakers, game 2 of the championship series. You step inside the Boston Garden and time seems to stand still. This arena was built back in 1928. Winston Churchill once spoke here, and for all I know, he probably smoked a cigar here long before Red Auerbach. But this building houses more memories than any arena in the NBA. They have saddled 14 champions in Celtic green, and the honor roll here reads like the Hall of Fame. Cousy, Sharman, Russell, the Jones boys, Heinsohn, Luskatov. And on this miserable rainy night here in New England, even an obstructed view at the Boston Garden is a very cherished possession. You see, they have come to cheer for their favorite. His name is Larry Bird. And they think that he will get the Boston Celtics even tonight. But the Los Angeles Lakers have their own Superman. His name is Magic Johnson. And already he has led his team to one victory in this NBA championship series. So coming up now from the Boston Garden, CBS is pleased to bring you game 2 of this championship series. It's the Lakers and the Celtics. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I am Brent Musburger. And you know, rarely has the pressure been so heavy on the shoulders of the home team in only the second game of an NBA championship series. But since 1975, only one team prior to the Lakers this year had broken through and won the first game on the road. That was the Lakers. 2 years ago, they did it in Philadelphia, and they won that championship from the 76ers. If the Celtics lose here tonight, they would go out to the West Coast, trailing the Lakers 2 victories to none. That is something they do not want. Now let's go down to the floor, and the man who will call the action for you, Dick Stockton. Dick?
Thank you very much, Brent. You know, before game number 1 on Sunday, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the giant 7'3" Lakers center, awoke with a migraine headache, and there was hardly dancing in the streets in Los Angeles. Well, the migraine was massaged away, and Kareem massaged the Boston Celtics. He dominated his battle with the Celtics center Robert Parish, and Los Angeles won that first game. Kareem has no such migraine problems in this game today. 2 other points. James Worthy of the Los Angeles Lakers, who can leap the court in a single bound, it seems. It symbolizes their great quickness and speed. And Larry Bird, who's the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics, did not have a typical Larry Bird game in the first contest. He scored well, he rebounded well, but he did not shoot well. And therein lies the Laker game plan. As I bring in my analyst and partner, Tommy Heinsohn, who played on 8 Celtic championship teams and coached 2 more. Pat Riley had a good game plan. Will he follow it again, and what was it?
It certainly was a good game plan, Dick. What he did was pack in the defense against the power inside, close-in game of the Boston Celtics, and he dared the guards of the Boston Celtics to beat him. It didn't work for the Celtics. It certainly worked for Pat Riley. I think we're going to see more of that today.
We're also going to see the fast break. Both teams use it. It's perhaps the most exciting maneuver in all of basketball. And, of course, as you know, it's been a Celtic tradition throughout their dominant years. And now the Los Angeles Lakers have elevated this fast break to new heights, Tom.
High praise from the coach of the Boston Celtics. Casey Jones says the Laker fast break is the best he's seen in 15 years. The object of the fast break is to get the ball up quickly before the defense can get up themselves. Magic Johnson, the perfect middleman to advance the ball, does an outstanding job, and James Worthy, the super big, fast, big forward. Here's Magic Johnson going to come in with one of his other attributes, rebounding, and watch them advance this ball quickly against only two of the Celtics as Worthy swoops in for the clincher.
Tommy, Brent talked about the pressure, obviously, on the Boston Celtics because they lost the first game at home. Are they behind the 8 ball really now?
Well, you tend to take a win like that with a little bit of complacence, I think. Not so the Boston Celtics. I think the Boston Celtics are chomping at the bit to make sure that they don't go out to L.A. 2 down. They're a very, very hungry basketball team right now.
Well, one man who would like to see the Lakers go back to the West Coast leading 2-0 is Irvin Magic Johnson, their sensational 6'9" point guard. And right now he's with our Pat O'Brien. Pat.
Thank you, Dick. We're with Magic Johnson and Irvin. The Celtics have been talking about slowing you down all week. Is that possible?
Well, I think in order for them to slow us down, they have to shoot a very high percentage. And we have to wait and see what happens. But if they continue to miss, then I think our running game will still be very effective.
Boston's also been talking about this being a more physical series. Is that possible?
It could be. We just have to adjust to that. I think that Phoenix series really helped us because Phoenix played us tough and physical, so maybe we can adjust to anything that Boston be able to do as far as physicalness.
Now, you're not going to hear too many people cheering for Magic Johnson here. How does that affect you and the team? Does that get you going more?
Oh, yeah. It just gets you up and gets you ready to play.
Any place you'd rather be?
Well, I like to be in L.A., and I like to be in Lance and say hello to my mom and dad.
There he goes, the Magic Man. Let's go back upstairs to Brent.
All right, Pat, thank you. Pat alluded to the fact that this could be a more physical game. When I arrived in Boston and read the papers, I thought these two teams were getting ready for a football game rather than a basketball game. All the talk about pushing and shoving. Kevin Lockberry, the coach of the Chicago Bulls, again with us. Kevin, how can the Celtics get Larry Bird into their offense quickly tonight and have him light up the board?
They have to get him into the offense, Brent. He's the best player they have. He's the greatest passing forward that's ever played in professional basketball. He took 17 shots last game. He's got to take 22, 23. They got to get the ball in his hands almost in the backcourt.
Dick alluded to the fact that Kareem had outplayed Robert Parish. Take us inside that matchup. What happened there?
Kareem outscored him by 19. Here's Kareem playing him on defense, pushing him early, and here comes Magic, the double team. It's impossible with a 6'9" guard coming in there to get the ball into Robert Parish.
That's not nice. 6'9" guards. They're supposed to be 5'5", 5'6". If we look beyond Larry Bird on the Celtics, Kevin, in your opinion, who is the most valuable Celtic?
I believe it's Kevin McHale. Pat Riley, the Laker coach, said to McHale, we have nobody to guard Kevin McHale. He had 25 points the first game. We'll see an awful lot of them tonight.
I got news, though. The Celtics may not have anybody to guard one James Worthy. You know, Tommy Heinsohn said that maybe the Lakers were a touch complacent. Maybe he's right. Kurt Rambis came to the arena tonight. He forgot his sneakers. Had to send somebody back over to the hotel room, but they're here in time, and we are ready now, and we are just about to bring you Game 2 of this NBA World Championship Series, the Lakers and the Celtics, coming up.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's championship game is sponsored by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. And by IBM and the growing family of IBM personal computers.
In this rapidly changing world, even the brightest and best manager in the company may need more than a loyal staff to run a smooth operation. For when headquarters calls and pressure builds, it becomes harder to keep things rolling without running into mix-ups, losing control of the operation, and falling behind. For rapid improvement, a manager could use a tool for modern times. The IBM personal computer. For smoother scheduling, better planning, and greater productivity. It can help a manager excel and become a big wheel in the company. The IBM personal computer. See it at a store near you.
You've never seen anything like it. You've never heard anything like it. You've never felt anything like it, because there's never been anything like Streets of Fire. A rock and roll fantasy. Streets of Fire. Rated PG. Starts Friday at select theaters. Check newspaper for showtimes.
The 169th straight sellout in ancient Boston Garden. Now the starting lineups. First, the coaches. Pat Riley and K.C. Jones. They've been head coaches 7 years, respectively. They've been to the title series 5 times. The forwards, James Worthy, so impressive on the fast break. Larry Bird looking to hit long range consistently. The power forwards, just what the position implies, and they fit the description perfectly. The 2 7-footers, Abdul-Jabbar run round number 1. And the point guards, they're the playmakers. They set up the others. No one does it better than Irvin Magic Johnson. And the other guards, Michael Cooper and Dennis Johnson, their chief asset is defense, but their games go well beyond that. The officials working this game number 2, Jake O'Donnell and Jack Madden, and Paul Mahalik is the alternate. So the Boston Celtics, who have won 14 world championships and looking for number 15, but trailing the Lakers, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has scored more points than anyone in the history of the NBA, and Robert Parish, who needs to get his game on track, will jump center. The Lakers are in the dark uniforms, purple and blue, plus gold, and the Celtics in white and green. And Michael Cooper taps it over to Kurt Rambis. The Lakers have built up a 19-point lead in rolling over Boston, who staged the rally in the second half on Sunday. They're going right to Kareem. His famed skyhook misses, and now the Celtics pushing it up. Cooper defending Henderson, who's going inside. That got the Boston crowd charged up. Magic Johnson, number 32. He's 6'9", guarded by a 6'2", Gerald Henderson. Worthy against Maxwell. Celtics fast breaking again, but Johnson picks the ball off. Kareem. Robert Parish defends Kareem Abdul-Jabbar brilliantly inside. 3-on-1 for Boston. And there's a foul. Could not have asked Tom Heinsohn for a better start if you're a Boston Celtic fan tonight.
Well, we should talked a lot about the Laker fast break, but here the Celtics pushing it right back at the Lakers.
Michael Cooper, number 21, guarded by Dennis Johnson. Celtics playing a very tight defense. Abdul-Jabbar inside is fouled before the shot. It'll be the first foul on the Boston Celtics. You are allowed 4 team fouls. On the 5th in each period becomes the penalty, and a team will take 2 shots.
Parrish has got a man-sized job just guarding Jabbar. He's not going to get too much help right now against him, or if it does, it develops late.
Knocking the ball away was Robert Parish, who has been a defensive gem so far in the first minute and a half of this opening period. Larry Bird. That's what Larry Bird didn't do so much in game number 1, despite his 24 points. 7-0 Boston. They've come out of the chute red hot. Here's Cooper. And the Lakers get on the board with nearly 2 minutes gone by in this first period. Bird again. He's a man possessed as Pat Riley looks on from the Los Angeles bench.
They want to get it going quickly, these Celtics.
Here's Magic Johnson. He hit 3 early ones that helped the LA Force in game number 1.
The Lakers normally like to control the pace of the game in the first 6 minutes, and here the Celtics are doing it.
And we have a whistle and a foul. Illegal defense, no foul. That means in pro basketball, when you've got to play man-to-man defense, you can double team, but you can't leave a player not guarding anyone.
You cannot, definitely. But the Celtics, not the faster team, beating the Lakers down the court right now.
That's a warning. The second time an illegal defense is called, it is a technical foul. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was caught in the middle. Here's Parish. Over the top, it'll be LA ball. So how do you rate the first couple of minutes so far in which Boston has controlled the pace?
I think the Celtics got off to just the type of start they wanted and may have caught the Lakers a little bit by surprise, unlike game one. It was the reverse in game one.
Magic Johnson hits his second in a row. They say of all the things Magic does, maybe he's not that great an outside shooter. He's underrated there. Blocked shot by Cooper out of bounds. It's still LA ball.
Well, I think in the initial stages, Dick, both clubs are going to try and pack it in the defense a little bit. We talked about that on the top, and some of the Laker guards and Celtic guards are going to have to hit outside a little bit.
After the block, it was Boston's ball. Bird misses outside. Kurt Rambis throws the ball away. One of the things the Lakers didn't do, turn the ball over all that much, although with two fast-breaking teams, you will have your share of turnovers.
A couple of days layover is going to produce that, Dick. It requires perfect execution at a quick pace. And then a 4-day layoff going to hurt them.
Here's Gerald Henderson. That's what the Lakers are doing. They're the guards to shoot from outside. Maxwell on the offensive board goes up.
That's the part of the game, Dick, that the Celtics are so good at. Second effort baskets, offensive rebounding, the likes of Maxwell, Parish, Bird, and McHale that comes off the bench. So right now, Boston showing what they're made of.
Foul was on Kurt Rambis. Maxwell hits the first free throw. One of the things that Cedric Maxwell does so well, and he is in his 7th year from North Carolina, Charlotte, is that he gets fouled a lot and goes to the line and gets that offensive rebound.
When he's down in that low post close to the basket position, he makes something happen. He's got great moves, and he's expert at picking up fouls down there.
He has 5 points, and the Celtics lead 11-6, 8:37 to go. A steal by Gerald Henderson, and he goes in for the layup. He just picked Magic Johnson's pocket.
Not too many people do that.
They go right into Kareem, double team him. They're going to say to Magic, can you do it again? And he does it again. Magic Johnson outside. He's hit now 3 in a row.
They may just do that until Magic's arm gets tired.
Now Magic Johnson says turnabout is fair play, and he picks one off. He's gone for 4. He's got it. And now the Celtic lead at 1 point. 7-0 has been cut to 3 with 4 minutes gone by in this first period.
Magic makes his statement in the early part of the ball game.
And that's off the hands. Now an illegal defense called again against the Lakers. And that is a technical foul. That's the second time it was called. James Worthy, and so a technical foul means that the Boston Celtics, and in this case Larry Bird, will go to the line and shoot a free throw.
An illegal defense, Dick, is where the help side of the defense, away from the ball, is in the painted area more than 3 seconds, or has dropped below the foul line and is in there for 3 seconds. Take a look at James Worthy, trying to find him, but there's somebody on the weak side, way up at the head of your screen, top of your screen, is in there too long.
And the weak side, of course, is always the side away from where the ball is.
When the ball is on one side of the court, the defense has a tendency to go and sink into the middle.
A timeout. The Celtics lead the Lakers by 4.
Experience Mazda.
The first thing you notice about the Mazda RX-7 is its sleek, slippery styling. Then you notice amenities like contoured sports seats, a redesigned instrument cluster, and 5-speed overdrive. You also can't help but notice the Mazda RX-7's outstanding value. But perhaps most noticeable of all is just how you feel at times like these. The more you look, the more you like.
The Mazda Experience.
This camping trip was a good idea.
Yeah, it sure is relaxing.
Peaceful.
Groovy.
Groovy? Kind of dark, though.
Man, I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah, let's have another light beer from Miller.
Lights, less filling!
Taste great! Less filling! Taste great! Less filling! Taste great!
What was that?
The creature.
What creature?
Well, legend has it that a horrible thing stalked these woods.
Oh, Mickey!
And it comes out when the moon is full.
What does this creature look like?
It walks on 2 legs, but it isn't human. It's got big eyes that bulge out and...
It's the creature!
Hey, guys, where you going? Hey, guys, where are the marshmallows?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Come on, it's after us! Man, did you see that thing? Sucking it blue.
This weekend, the long and demanding Congressional course will test a top PGA field when they play the 17th Kemper Open, starting Saturday on CBS Sports.
Tom, at the start of the series, Casey Jones, the Celtic coach, says that the man who will guard Magic Johnson will be the man that Magic Johnson guards, because you don't want to go chase him all over the court, and that falls on Gerald Henderson, who's 6'2" and gives up 7 inches, and a lot of people were critical of that move.
Yes, but here it's going to pay some dividends, because the quickness of Henderson goes in to challenge Magic Johnson. That's going to be his job for the entire series, and here it's going to produce 2 points. I don't envy Gerald Henderson, though, trying to pick up Magic Johnson.
Gerald Henderson in his 5th year from Virginia Commonwealth, discovered in the minor leagues, has worked his way up, number 43 with the ball now, to the fact he was a starter all season in point guard for the Boston Celtics. Maxwell going in against Rambis, challenging Kurt Rambis, and there's no question, Tom, that the Celtics with a lot of guns have gone to Maxwell, who has 7 points so far.
Well, that's another indication of that strong inside power game, the close into the basket game the Celtics are so good at.
James Worthy guarded by Maxwell right now. Cooper puts a fake on Maxwell. Michael Cooper hits. So all of the Laker points have come from their guards right now. Magic Johnson has 8 and Cooper 4. 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first period. 4-point lead for Boston. Magic Johnson knocks it away from Dennis Johnson, and Johnson fouls him. They were old nemesis when Dennis Johnson played out in Seattle and went against Magic all the time. 2 big guards going at it, and both have a lot of respect for one another. But that time, Johnson had the measure on Dennis.
And he turned down the outside shot. The Lakers right now are taking the outside shot, proving to Casey Jones that they're willing to take it and can hit it. The Celtics are not willing to take the outside shot, it looks like.
Here's Magic Johnson. Larry Bird the rebound. So on a missed shot, you get the long rebound and a 4-on-2 straight. That's blocked by Michael Cooper. Kareem now to Worthy. So the Celtics had the fast break opportunity, but Cooper made the defensive play. Abdul-Jabbar over Bird. Still has it. Pinball machine and a foul. Parish had got a hand on it, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shows why, if you have a good big man, you're in good shape.
And he's been the best in the NBA for a long, long time on the boards, and particularly with that sky hook.
That is the 2nd personal foul on Robert Parish, the Celtics center, who fouled out in game 1, and so the Celtics all of a sudden have a problem, even though they're leading with 6:30 to play in the first.
In every Olympic event, there are moments to hold forever, forever in steps. Feel the power of the pounding hearts, forever in steps. Yours is the magic to hold. Share the triumph, share the gold, forever in steps.
Now I've entered all 24 events, Dad.
Capture all the memories in this historic stamp collection at the post office.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free, but the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man developed athlete's foot. Today, there's Mycotin. Mycotin cures athlete's foot. It's the only athlete's foot medicine you can buy with myconazole, a patented ingredient recommended by specialists to cure athlete's foot. Mycotin, now also available in new spray liquid. Mycotin, the end of the road for athlete's foot.
How to ride a Honda scooter. First, select shirt pant combo. We suggest this or this. Next, select appropriate shoes. We suggest 2.
Then choose a scooter that best expresses your individuality. There are many sizes and colors.
And always wear your helmet.
Honda scooters. They're everything but ordinary.
We're back live at Boston Garden. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn with game number 2 of our best-of-7 series. And the Boston Celtics came out like a house of fire, but their lead has been cut right now to 4 points.
Well, they established their fast break, but the speed of the Lakers is starting to catch up. They are dynamite and getting back fast. The quick forwards that the Lakers have make it extremely difficult for any team to fast break against them.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who broke Wilt Chamberlain's scoring record this year, and also broke the all-time field goal record right here at Boston Garden. This is the first free throw. Kareem was pleased with the fans' reaction here. They gave him a long standing ovation. He wrote a letter to the newspaper and he said, "We'll see you in the spring." And how right he is.
He is the inside or the set offense of the Lakers. They go to him 80% of the time when they can't get a fast break.
He misses both free throws. He hasn't hit a field goal yet. 0 for 4 after hitting his first 6 shots on Sunday. 6:19 to go in the first period. Gerald Henderson. Parish gets the rebound. Those that want to know where Robert Parish is, he's made his presence felt so far, but he's playing with 2 personal fouls. 6 and you're out. Kareem trying to get 3 on Parish, and maybe the foul situation had a factor on that play.
And had him releasing Jabbar for an easy one. He doesn't want to pick up that third.
18 to 14, the Celtics in front. They have led all the way in this game. Larry Bird double team. Henderson tries to control it. It's still Boston ball. So the name of the game in this series is double team the big guns.
Well, they've got to find the cutters, the Celtics, going to the basket, and they're not open.
Dennis Johnson shooting outside, misses, and Maxwell saves nicely to Gerald Henderson, who feeds into Bird. Is still Boston ball.
The only way they're going to be able to open up the game, the Celtics, is if Dennis Johnson and Gerald Henderson hit some 18-foot shots.
5.5 minutes to go in the first period. Henderson puts a fake on Worthy, banks it home. Gerald Henderson has 6 points in the ball game. And there is James Worthy, as Tom Heinsohn pointed out at the start, the fastest forward that he has seen, beating everyone down the court for an easy fast break layup.
You better know where he is at all times.
He did not compete in the playoffs last year because of a fractured leg. A young Colt in this one. Dennis Johnson open. So Dennis Johnson has missed 2 free throws in a row from outside, but the Celtics will go to the line on the foul.
They're going to see James Worthy at his best. Here comes the score, but look at how quickly they inbound it. Cooper with his head up, and Worthy with the Jets on his shoes beats all the Celtics up the court.
Back to live action, and Maxwell is fouled going in. The first foul was not in the act of shooting. This one is, and he'll go to the line. And coming in for the Celtics is Quinn Buckner, who is an 8-year guard from Indiana and a former defensive halfback on the football team at Indiana. He is a compact, strong defensive player. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar picks up his 2nd personal foul. So both centers, Parish and Abdul-Jabbar, have 2 personal fouls, and Maxwell shooting.
I think Buckner's in there, Dick, primarily to give Robert Parish some help to get down there and double team Jabbar. He's probably the quickest and the best at it that the Celtics have.
14 fouls against the Lakers, 5 and you're into the penalty, which means 2 shots automatically. Under 5 minutes to go in the first period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn here at Boston Garden. Kareem double teamed by Maxwell and Parish. Trapped nicely. Cooper forces it up. But there's Abdul-Jabbar. And there's a foul against the Celtics.
Celtics made a big mistake that time, Dick. They had their big people taking off up the court before they were sure they had the rebound. That's a no-no. You don't fast break until you're sure you got possession of the ball.
Bob McAdoo has come in for Los Angeles, and the hand for Kevin McHale. Kevin Lockery talked about McHale as Maxwell goes out having scored 9 points. McHale, the celebrated 6th man off the bench. Danny Ainge is coming in, and so Casey Jones, with this kind of a pace, going to his bench to a great degree early. The fans thought there was a traveling violation, but there is a foul called instead on Quinn Buckner, his 2nd in a row.
What the Celtics are doing, Dick, is to harass Magic Johnson with their quicker guards, try to get up underneath them and take the ball away from him. That's a tough assignment.
Both McAdoo, who had trouble shooting. 2 for 12 on Sunday. Is a scoring machine off the bench for the Lakers normally. And Kevin McHale led the Celtics with 25 points. And no team has been able to stop him in the playoffs.
McAdoo doesn't have the body to keep McHale off the boards. But McAdoo has that great outside shot that McHale will have to respect.
Magic Johnson has scored 10 points for the Lakers, who trailed by 4, 22-18, with 4:25 to go in the first period. 4 12-minute periods. Buckner in the backcourt, along with Danny Ainge. The two have worked well together. Here's Ainge, long-range bomb. I think Casey Jones will go with the guard that shoots the best from outside tonight.
He's able to get a gold star, the guy that can hit 3 outside shots from 18 feet.
Cooper misses. Kareem Sky hooks it in. So the offensive rebound by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who now has 4 points in the ballgame. Good feed from Bird to Buckner. And here's Magic. It's a 3-on-2 break. Ainge got his hand on it. And they're going to call a Laker foul. And that'll be the 15th foul. And so if it's on Cooper, Quinn Buckner will go to the line and shoot 2 shots.
Now, Danny Ainge and Buckner, Casey Jones feel that combination is the best pressing guard core that he's got. And they're out there to really harass and to get back quickly to protect against this vaunted Laker fast break.
Is there a team that has the edge in the pace so far?
I think both of them are playing it pretty much at the way they like to play it. Boston's not afraid to run. A lot of teams are afraid to run against the Lakers, but not the Celtics.
Quinn Buckner misses the first free throw. He played 6 years with the Milwaukee Bucks. He started most of the games last season, but sat on the bench as a role player this year. Coming off the bench is a good defensive backup point guard. 5-point lead for the Celtics. They've led all the way. Scored the first 7 points to start this game, rocking this Boston Garden. James Worthy doubled. Cooper going in on a feed from Worthy. Misses the layup. Good play by the Lakers, but it didn't pay off. Here comes Danny Ainge. Gave up a career in baseball to join the Celtics. Parish misses. And Quinn Buckner winds up with the loose ball.
When he's around, the big guys better watch out. He's a pest. I never saw a guy take the ball out of the hands of the big men more than Quinn Buckner.
Bird and Parish have been in there all the way for the Celtics. Kevin McHale draws the foul going in. Bob McAdoo commits the foul, so just as you said, it's going to be very tough for McAdoo to outbody McHale going in on those inside shots.
Well, the inside game of the Boston Celtics, the one close to the basket, is their forte, and McHale, nobody's been able to stop him when he wants to get down in that low post in close.
He originally wanted to be a hockey player until he found out at 6'2" he was better off playing basketball. He's an outspoken chap. He says what's on his mind. Sometimes people wince at what he says, but he's honest, and that's the way he feels.
Give him a subject, and he'll talk on it for 15 minutes.
Celtics lead 27-20, winding down to 3 minutes to go in the first period. McAdoo travels. Turnover, too many steps, Boston ball.
McHale challenged the outside shot of McAdoo, made him put it on the floor, not his best move.
The Celtics setting up the play on the half-court game now. Worthy is guarding Buckner. They have Magic Johnson guarding Ainge. The fake by Larry Bird. 7 points for Larry Bird, and the Celtics have their biggest lead of the ball game. Johnson loops it in, and James Worthy might have been hit in the face. The Celtics coming back, pulling up his Ainge. Pat Riley wants a timeout for the Lakers.
Here's Worthy getting hit underneath, a mighty important player, and I'll tell you, the Celtics are physical underneath there. The slinky, skinny, big people of the Lakers are going to take a little bit of a beating underneath there. It gets really, really muscular.
2:28 remaining in the first period. 31-20. The lead is 11, and this is the Celtic basketball that they've known to play. What about the difference between the East and the West as far as the brand of basketball that are prevalent?
Well, people say that the Eastern brand of basketball is more physical, more big bodies like the Rulins, the McHales, those type. And they don't have those big centers out there in the Western Division. Very physical guys that like to muscle in. So, and the coaching kind of tries to use that side of the sport, to use that physique to create contact and free people. So the West is primarily fast break basketball, more finesse.
And as we look at Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we want to remind you that coming up on Sunday will be Game 3 of this NBA World Championship Series. It will start at 3:30 as the scene shifts from Boston Garden to the Forum in Inglewood, California. The Celtics and Lakers, game number 3. The first team to win 4 games will capture the championship. And hope you join us Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time as this drama continues.
Well, Danny Ainge, Dick, has come off the bench and provided that 18-foot shot on 2 occasions. He may just be the guy that gets the gold star after this ball game. 2 more, and I'm sure Casey's going to think about it.
There's Larry Bird, who ranked in the top 10 in just about every offensive category, from French Lick, Indiana. Danny Ainge, who played his college ball at Brigham Young. He was a second baseman hopeful with the Toronto Blue Jays before he said, nope, I think I want to play basketball and I want to play with the Celtics.
He's made a pretty significant contribution since he's been with the ball club, Dick.
And he's been in a few scraps.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He'll go in and he'll take nothing, back down from nobody.
The rookie Byron Scott, number 4, who was the first guard chosen in the draft last year, is into the ball game. Here's Bob McAdoo. This is the short shot from the baseline. The Lakers are back on defense, and here's Ainge again. He has hit all 3, and the Celtics lead now by 13 points with under 2 minutes to play in the first period. Abdul-Jabbar with a perfect feed inside to Magic Johnson.
That's why he's such a great center, because he's able to make those real good passes inside.
We're going to see the Lakers go to their bench again, and a 22nd timeout has been called for by Casey Jones. There is Swen Nader, the backup center, and Jamal Wilkes, who has been one of the prolific clutch scorers, a good outside shooter in a terrific career, 10 years. He has had a virus ailment which has slowed him. So Jamal Wilkes will be coming in along with Swen Nader, who played in the shadow of the great Bill Walton at UCLA and has been a veteran backup in his 11th year. And
a very good backup at that. He's done some significant things as a starter, rebounding, leading clubs in the league in rebounding, and also a very, very fine scorer.
Swen Nader into the ball game, and so Nader
not able to report in yet because of the 22nd timeout.
Nader and Wilkes ready to come in. Each team is allowed 1 22nd timeout. Usually it's because of an injury. And now the Lakers are hit with an illegal defense call again. Pat Riley is off the bench. Normally cool and collected. Pat is a little upset right now. And that's the 3rd violation. And another technical foul is called, and Larry Bird will go to the line.
Well, the Celtics are setting up their offense to make that illegal defense very, very obvious to the officials. You cannot, if you are on the opposite side from the ball, go into the lane. And they have 1 foot in there, and they're trying to play pity-pat. Pick it up and avoid the 3 count, but they're getting caught on it.
3 seconds, that's the magic time limit. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goes out of the ball game. Worthy's on the bench. Kareem has scored 4. Worthy has scored 2. And so in an effort to shake things up, Pat Riley now, in essence, has his 2nd team out there with the exception of Magic Johnson, who's been the only one really shooting well for the Lakers.
Well, Robert Parish with 2 fouls might be a good chance to get him out of the game.
Bird. Fouled and will go to the line. And the foul is on Magic Johnson. That is his first. Pat Riley, who has been to the World Championship Series in each of his 3 years at the helm of the Lakers. Here's Irvin Magic Johnson from Lansing, Michigan.
The Laker defense isn't the same when Jabbar is on the bench. He is such an intimidator in there. Just the mere size of him and his hands up in the air makes you change the loft of your shot. with him sitting on the bench, there won't be too many of the Celtics afraid to take it to the basket.
Larry Bird from French Lick, Indiana, was a star at Indiana State. Reached the NCAA championship game in college and lost to Magic Johnson's Michigan State Spartans. 13-point lead with 1:20 to go in the first period. It's been Boston all the way. Byron Scott, good-looking rookie with a lot of poise. Teams have to shoot within 24 seconds. The Lakers have 8 seconds on the clock. Here's Nader with a hook shot. Bird with position, had it, lost it, and a loose ball foul is called against Larry Bird, I believe.
You wonder how this man rebounds. He can't leap. Everybody thinks you have to be a super leaper to be a rebounder, but you do rebound with your head. Good position before the ball hits the rim enables you to get the good rebound. Let's see if we can pick it up on Larry Bird. Has the position already in there. He gets nudged from behind. No foul. Couldn't hang on to it, but I'll tell you, he is a mighty important player for them on the offensive board and on the defensive board, Larry Bird.
Byron Scott misses the free throw. He grew up within 14 blocks of the Lakers' home in Inglewood. Was acquired in a trade from San Diego when Norm Nixon, very popular guard, was traded to San Diego. But Scott misses the free throws. Parish went out of the ball game. He has 2 fouls, and so Kevin McHale is playing the center position. Maxwell is back in, number 31 for Boston. Under a minute to go, first period. Celtics by 13. Bird misses. And Bob McAdoo tears down the rebound. Here's Johnson. And Johnson all the way. Magic Johnson with 14 first period points. And they're going to call Scott with a foul on Buckner at the other end as the pace is end to end. This is the kind of action we expect throughout the series.
It comes up Magic up the court. And Buckner gets banged as he was going up for that long pass. Both teams are going to make the other team pay. They're going to try to advance the ball as quickly as it can possibly be done.
When Buckner on the line, the Celtics have hit 12 out of 14 from the free throw line. One out of 2. 37 seconds to go in the period. 36 to 24. Celtics have led all the way. Johnson against Ames. Here's Byron Scott. Byron Scott hits the shot. He's only a rookie, but he's not afraid to hit it. And Pat Riley told us yesterday, he said he's the kind of a player, he's not afraid to have his number called when the game's on the line.
He's an excellent outside shooter.
11 seconds remaining and 10 seconds, and the Celtics playing for the last shot. Their lead is 10. At one point it was 13. And traveling call, and now the Lakers with 3 seconds will try to get off the last shot.
Go get it, Buck. 3 seconds.
Byron Scott travels, and no time goes off the clock. So now the Celtics, with 3 seconds to go, will try to set something up.
He took too many steps down the sideline and trying to make that pass. You only can have one step.
McHale, double team. And the buzzer sounds, ending the first period in which the Celtics have led all the way. And after one period, it's the Boston Celtics who trail 1-0 in games 36. Los Angeles Lakers 26. And we'll return to the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
I gotta go practice, Gloria. Hold my crush? Don't drink it.
An orange crush is in sight. Your eyes grow bigger. Your mouth gets wider till those all-natural flavors are deep inside you. Crush is so irresistible, you can't keep a bottle full. Orange lovers have a crush on us.
Hey, where's my crush?
It had a taste to beat the band.
Orange lovers have a crush on us.
Dawn at the dawn of a new day. Shining strong. Follow the trail where it's leading you and discover a place you belong. In Ontario, see Ontario, 'cause it's yours to discover and you're gonna love it in Ontario.
away limping badly. He's hurt now.
I thought it was all over. But with training and help, I got the chance to come back. Some people need training and help just to play the game. I volunteered to coach Special Olympics and give them the kind of help they need. But Special Olympics needs more coaches. Beautiful. They can't do it with just magic. It takes you, too.
Furnished as a public service by the National Basketball Association.
Ready for the start of the second period here at the Boston Garden. The Celtics lead the Lakers 36-26. They scored the first 7 points. The Lakers came back. The Celtics opened it up to 13, and now it's at 10 points. Magic Johnson is the high scorer in the ball game with 14. Cedric Maxwell and Larry Bird each have 9 points. They're the high scorers for the Celtics.
Celtics got the pace of the game that they wanted and also were able to score those close-in baskets.
Scott Wedman, veteran who came over from Cleveland, who was a star at Kansas City. He's in for his outside shooting. Misses his first attempt as he opens the second period in the Celtic lineup. He's going to be playing a guard position. On a feed from Johnson. Misses. McHale. So it's Wedman and Ainge in the backcourt. McHale, Bird, and Maxwell up front for the white-shirted Celtics. Bird immediately double-teamed in a crowd. And a Laker foul.
They're only double-teaming Larry Bird when he gets down close to the basket. And they got big people on him, so he can't find an open man. Now look at them all harass him, and he gets banged and knocked to the floor.
Foul was on Jamal Wilkes. Cedric Maxwell with 2 attempts. Defense twice and a good block the second time around. Wilkes got a good corner shot. Driving inside this time, and Jamal Wilkes gets the basket. He's had 2 good practices, and Pat Riley told us we're going to play him a lot more. He's played 8 in a row after missing the first 7 of the playoff season. Celtics maintain possession.
The Celtics with Danny Ainge outside shooting has opened up that inside game just a little bit, particularly for Maxwell.
Parish with 2 personal fouls comes back in the ball game, and Larry Bird gets a rest. He scored 9 points for the Celtics and 3 rebounds. Whatever the Celtics need, he's there to provide it. Parish is back. Wedman hits. Wedman came off the bench and hit 3 big shots for the Celtics in their comeback attempt on Sunday in game number 1.
He proved that they needed to hit that outside shot.
Nearly a minute and a half gone by in the second period. Nader with a good move on Parish. Didn't know he had that quickness.
Well, that one hook shot set up that roll move. Parish was away from him the first time. This time he bodied him.
So the lead is down to 8 now, and the crowd quiets a bit as the Lakers are hit with another foul. That'll be their second. And NBA Commissioner David Stern, who's serving his first year at the helm, a witness here at Boston Garden. Foul is on Nader, his first personal foul, second team foul on LA. McHale, good feed from Ainge. He had to get it over the defender, Tommy.
He sure did, and it was a perfect pass.
Earvin Magic Johnson, 6'9" point guard. He can play every position on the court. Bumped by Wedman. McAdoo going in. The basket will count. McAdoo gets the basket and will go to the line and try for a 3-point play.
40 go! 32!
And the foul is on Kevin McHale, his first. And so now the lead is cut to 8. Chance for 7 when we come back after this timeout.
The first thing you learn as a professional photographer is don't take chances. It's just not worth it. I'm talking about the paper we have our pictures printed on. Kodak paper. The overwhelming choice of professional photographers. We ask for it for our personal pictures, too. Insist on Kodak paper. Wherever you see this sign, don't take chances.
Daytona, 1982. Honda sweeps the Superbike race and wins the Supercross.
1983, Honda sweeps both races. 1984, Honda sweeps the Superbike race and dominates the Supercross. What kind of technology does it take to own Daytona year after year? Find out for yourself at your Honda dealer.
I'm not interested in your friends in high places, and I don't trust politicians.
Now, if we listened to you, we'd still be rolling drunks for a living.
They dreamed it all.
I swear, Noodles, you and me together, we can make it come true.
They did it all.
There they are, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
And it all came back to haunt them. Robert De Niro, Once Upon a Time in America, rated R. Starts Friday, June 1st. Check newspapers for a theater near you.
Tom, the Lakers have cut 8 points off a Celtic lead, which was at 13. What should Boston do at this point?
I think they need a little substitution, perhaps in the backcourt. But they're going with the same guys. There's the inside game. Kevin McHale, that is oh so important right now. The outside shooting of Ainge and Wedman has helped set up what is normally the big part of what the Celtics like to do, scoring close.
Danny Ainge with 6 points. There's Dennis Johnson, who has been on the bench. He has not scored in the ball game. Dennis Johnson has been a big play man for the Celtics in the playoffs. McAdoo missed the free throw and a chance for a 3-point play, so the lead remains 8, 40-32. We have 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second period. McHale tripled for the moment. Pesky defense by Byron Scott. Still Boston ball. Arnold Red Auerbach, and at halftime you will see a very fine profile on the Celtics president and general manager at the half. McHale blocked from behind by McAdoo, and there's Scott Wedman from the corner. Celtics had several opportunities, and now the Lakers can cut the Celtic lead to 6. And traveling is called on Magic Johnson. That's the 8th turnover of the ball game by the Lakers. Pressure in the backcourt.
Celtics have their 2 best outside shooters in there now at the guard position, Wedman and Danny Ainge.
It is not a running offense, though.
No, it's going to be to try and take advantage of their big people.
Maxwell getting inside is fouled, and with the goggles adjusted, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar returns to the ball game along with Michael Cooper. Swan Nader did well coming off the bench for the Lakers. Magic Johnson goes out, and you see Larry Bird getting set to come in the ball game. And so with Nader in for Kareem, the Lakers actually cut some points off the Celtic lead.
Yes, and when that happens for a ball club, that's a pretty good sign that they're well in the ball game. Bench coming in and making a solid contribution, picking up some points. But they've got McAdoo's very capable if he gets that outside shot going. Swan Nader's got the good offense inside, but now they've got Kareem back, baby. And he's been trouble.
14 points for Magic Johnson as he goes to the bench. Cedric Maxwell, meanwhile, leads with 11 points and 4 rebounds, leading the Celtics. The Lakers foul going in. That is the second team foul against Boston, and it's against Danny Ainge.
He's such a good passer. When you double him, he's going to find an open man. But when you triple him, there's 2 open guys, and there's Wilkes with nobody on him. You've got to make sure that people going to the basket aren't wide open when you double team Kareem, because he's going to make you pay the price with a good pass.
Jamal Wilkes, who was on a world championship team as a rookie in '75 with the Golden State Warriors, and then of course with the Lakers 2 years ago, made 1 out of 2. He has been a starter, but because of the virus, has had to come off the bench. And there's a pretty good bench for Pat Riley. Scott Wedman hits outside, and so as Tom mentioned, Wedman and Ainge are doing the job outside. They have 10 points between them, and the Celtics are leading once again by 11, 44-33. There's Wilkes. Jamal Wilkes with that patented shot from the corner, and one of the clutch outside shooters the game is known.
It's a shame that he's not really been totally healthy, because he is one of their guys that love to take the key shots.
8.5 minutes remaining in the first half. 9-point lead for the Celtics. Here's Parish. And once again, Danny Ainge threads the needle on a pass inside. It was Parish for the points. Wilkes in trouble to McAdoo. Plenty of time on the 24-second shot clock, but Kareem said, I'll gladly take a 20-footer.
Well, there's some of the LA outside shooting. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that's pretty good.
Inside, offensive foul called against Kevin McHale. Too much of the elbow.
Just threading your way through a double team is awfully difficult. You'll either have to move quickly to the hoop before it develops, or wait till it develops and pass the ball out.
2 personal fouls on McHale. 7 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the first half. Celtics scored the first 7 points of the game. They've led all the way. Cooper is short. Kareem inside to McAdoo.
Now the Celtics once again taken off before they were sure they had possession of the ball. Ends up an easy one for the Lakers.
Here's Ainge coming right back. Danny Ainge now with 8 points. He has doubled his average of the season, and he has not missed in 4 attempts. Scott gets free inside. Cooper had him, but Scott a little bit too hard off the glass. 9-point Boston lead. And a timeout called by Casey Jones. It's been all Boston Celtics. They lost the first game of the series on their home court. They can't dream of going to LA down 2-0, but we have a long way to go in this one. 7:12 to go in the second.
A Hall of Fame story brought to you by Honda. He spent hours jumping rope to develop coordination. Only a second-round draft choice, his greatness spoke not of statistics, but of rare intangibles, the vitality of individual courage. This Hall of Fame story will continue.
The standing quarter mile. The B-65 Magna is about to attack it. A motorcycle that can turn 65 cubic inches into an incredible amount of horsepower. The Honda B-65 Magna. Nothing that looks like this has ever performed like this.
In the final 1970 championship game, a virtually crippled Willis Reed led the undermanned Knicks to victory over the Lakers, a tribute to the heroic tradition of sports.
Saturday, Airwolves Jan Michael Vincent.
Don't mess with me, punk.
Art Carney, Teresa Saldana. When your back's against the wall, there's only one way out. Defiance.
The 2 7-footers battling inside.
Parish has been having a tough time in all these series, and here's the reason why. He can't get where he wants to get. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not noted for his muscle, but a good pass saves it, and Parish scores inside.
Here's Robert Parish, who is called the Chief because of his wooden, solemn look. But off the court, he is a laughing, smiling guy, and his hobby is watching horror films of all things.
He's got more horror movies. I think he's got The Bride of Frankenstein, The Husband of Frankenstein, whatever.
Jerry Buss, the owner of the Lakers, and John Robinson, the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. One of many Los Angelinos who have made the trip east for this series, which will resume Sunday, Game 3 from the Forum in Los Angeles at 3:30 Eastern Time. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Cross-court pass. McHale is fouled inside. Danny Ainge, who has 3 assists and is 4 for 4 from the field, has made a definite contribution off the bench for Boston.
He's been the 4th guard for the Celtics most of the season, and a lot of people claim he's inconsistent, but he's being played inconsistent. So you kind of expect that, but today, or this evening, he certainly is doing his job.
There's Danny Ainge, who was at Brigham Young, who's awfully scrappy. A lot of his play under the microscope when he's come here has been under pressure. Foul was on Jamal Wilkes, his second. Kevin McHale on the line. Celtics have hit 15 out of 18 from the line. LA has struggled. They've made only 3 shots out of 9.
And they're not getting that fast break going with Magic not being in the lineup right now, and that's where they fatten up their shooting percentage. Easy layups.
Has Magic been out a long time?
Well, he needs a little bit of a rest, but Michael Cooper does not provide that type of passing that Magic does.
7 seconds on the shot clock. McAdoo gets it into Kareem. Here's that skyhook. Danny Ainge comes down with it. 6:38 to go in the first half. 10-point lead. Scott Wetman. The crowd was ready to erupt on that one. And the Celtics maintain control. Wedman. And there comes the break. McAdoo on the outlet pass. The first pass on the fast break. Byron Scott, the basket counts and a foul. Byron Scott. The crowd does not like the call, and that's not a surprise. What a play by Scott.
He pushes up quickly at the Celtic defense and angles in on Ainge. It kind of hit Ainge in the head. The crowd didn't like it, but he'll be at the line shooting for a three-point play.
Dennis Johnson comes in for Scott Wedman, who gets a hand. Wedman scored 4 points. James Worthy returns to the ball game for the Lakers, replacing Jamal Wilkes. And so the Lakers now have a front line of Wilkes, Worthy, and McAdoo, with Cooper and Scott in the backcourt. Dennis Johnson and Ainge make up the Boston guards. Here's Ainge, long range. Cooper gives it to Bird. Cooper tried to save it, but he fired it to Larry Bird. And it's a 9-point Boston lead at 51-42 with 5:44 to go in the first half. McAdoo close in. He's dangerous from there.
Well, he keeps finding the right man every single time, Jabbar. Every time he's double teamed, they're getting a good shot out of it, the Lakers.
Ainge is wide open. On the other side, McHale draws the foul. Maxwell and McHale have drawn the foul. It's on Bob McAdoo, and for McAdoo, that is his second personal foul. So Irvin Magic Johnson has had his rest. He comes back in the ball game. He went out leading everyone with 14 points, and he still has 14. Byron Scott gets a breather. And Kurt Rambis is back. He's had a hyperextended elbow, and that's why he has all that contraption on that left arm. McAdoo also goes out. McAdoo goes out. He scored 6 points and 5 rebounds. So he's played better today than he did in game 1.
The reason Kevin McHale has been a tough matchup for everybody in the playoffs is because he's got that size and he's got the strength to maintain a position for the rebounds in close to the basket. He's 6'11".
Lakers had it cut to 7. It's 9 right now. 5:19 to go in the second period. Michael Cooper going for 3 points. If you can make a basket beyond that white line, circling beyond the foul line, it is a 3-point play. Larry Bird gets the ball away from Rambis, who gives him the shot, and Bird takes it. Celtics' biggest lead was 13. They're up by 11. Johnson. Kurt Rambis. Well, the Lakers have had several great opportunities inside for layups, and they haven't converted them. And here's Dennis Johnson. And Pat Riley wants a timeout.
Should your child be before you buy a computer? High school, when he's planning a career? Elementary school, when she can either fall behind or leap ahead? Or preschool, to give him a head start? When you buy is up to you. But Commodore makes the decision easier than any other computer. Because it's a 64, it's very powerful. Because it's Commodore, it's
I just got a sporty truck priced like some base trucks, the Mazda B2000 SE5. Look, it comes standard with a 5-speed overdrive, steel-belted radials and spoker wheels, sporty stripes, a step bumper, even dual sport mirrors. Pretty sporty for just $59.95.
Sakes alive! Sakes alive! Sakes alive! Sakes alive! Only Mazda's got a sporty truck with just $59.95.
Sakes alive! When I started delivering beer back in 1893, the supermarket was a blacksmith shop. Well, those days are gone. But maybe not entirely. You see this? Today's Milwaukee's best. It's got a smooth, old-time taste, old-time quality, and a real fair, old-time price. Milwaukee's best. It's just the kind of deal that his great-great-granddaddy would have loved.
Introducing Milwaukee's best. Old-time quality at an old-time price.
The Boston Celtics have run off 6 straight points, and right now, to find out what's coming up at the half, let's go to Brent Musburger. Brent?
Dick, we're writing a new chapter, of course, in these great games between the Celtics and the Lakers. But I thought I'd like to take you back tonight at the half and talk to a man who started it out. The great Bob Cousy will be along. He, of course, played on 6 championships here in Boston. And also, we will have a look at the godfather of the NBA. That is Red Auerbach. And Kevin Lockery will be with me. He'll analyze what's gone on here in the first half. Time for action now. Let's go back to Dick and Tommy.
Thank you very much, Brent. It'll be Lakers ball with 4:22 to go in the first half. The Celtics with 6 points in a row have matched their biggest lead of the game, 13. Worthy loses it to Dennis Johnson. Magic is back on defense, and Johnson loses the ball, turns it over. You know, people call him Magic Johnson without knowing exactly why it was Magic, but it was actually his coach in high school that pinned it on him, and it stuck. And that so often happens with players when they're youngsters.
A lot of people thought he had a wand. He did such magical things.
He does now. 7 on the shot clock. Kareem. Worthy gets the offensive rebound and gets the points. James Worthy, whose last postseason play was 2 years ago when he was the MVP as North Carolina won the national championship beating Georgetown.
LA felt that if he had been with them last season, they would have beaten the Sixers.
He was with them until the playoffs when he had the broken leg. 3:35 to go in the period. Magic. Johnson on the other side. Dennis Johnson hits over James Worthy. Dennis Johnson with 4 points. Bird with 13 leads Boston. Magic Johnson with 14 leads the Lakers. Here's Kareem having a little trouble with the skyhook tonight. Dennis Johnson. Nearly a steal by Cooper. And here's Bird. Blocked by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had all ball on Larry Bird going up. And on the 3-on-2 break, defense on the other end by Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson stopped the Laker break inside. 2 terrific defensive gems under the basket at both sides. But Worthy muscles his way in. Do these players want to slow up this pace?
I think some of the Lakers are getting a little tired right now.
Ames fires it up. I think the Celtics may be a little too. They may be a little fatigued. Not Magic Johnson, not Worthy. Basket good and a foul. And the Lakers have come back. They've cut the Celtic lead to 9, and one of the big reasons is that man, number 42, James Worthy.
You're probably more right than I was on who's getting tired, because here comes the Lakers. And not too many of the white shirts back there. They put the heat on the defense of the Celtics with the super fast forward, James Worthy.
James Worthy, who made it happen in game number 1. Ainge goes to the bench. Ainge has scored 8 points in the ball game. Worthy has the 3-point play. According to Pat Riley, has the quickest feet he has seen a forward have. Winding down now to nearly 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Bird tries to get it to Henderson, but it's Magic Johnson who tips it away. Being chased by Gerald. Gerald Henderson. And now Jamal Wilkes hits from the corner, and the Lakers are on a run.
Every time they double-team Larry Bird, they're anticipating a pass into the lane, and they're playing it for it, and they're stealing it.
Jamal Wilkes may have a shot back, and maybe Robert Parish, too, as the Lakers ran off 7 straight points before that jumper by Parish. 61-53 with 1:38 remaining in the first half. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn with all the action and plenty of it from Boston Garden. Worthy trapped, and now the Celtics are hit with an illegal defense call from Jake O'Donnell. That's the first one against Boston. So there was a player not guarding a Laker. The second time it'll be a technical in Casey Jones, who never really gets upset at anything. the pass by Magic Johnson into the hands of Bird and the Celtics. And now Dennis Johnson throws it away. Henderson threw it right into the hands of Wilkes with 1:15 to play. In the hand, Wilkes from Cooper, and the Lakers are burning the Celtics on the fast break and have cut the lead to 6.
This is the portion of the game, Dick, where the fast break starts to pay some dividends. The big people of both clubs start to break down. They get a little tired and want to hustle back on the defense.
McHale, he misses, and Wilkes, who has scored 9 points off the bench and is a rejuvenated performer for the Lakers in this game. And Pat Riley, with 48 seconds to play, calls the 22nd timeout allotted him. Down by 6, the Lakers have to be feeling awfully good. They were trailing by 13. They've cut it to 6, and a chance to do more damage before the half is history.
I think the Celtics got a little cocky. They were getting their inside game going, and they weren't a little bit patient of taking the good shots. And coupled with a couple of bad turnovers, have produced some fast break opportunities.
Would you say sooner or later it wears you down, that sizzling break by Pat Riley's team?
The consistency, it's like a sledgehammer. They keep hitting you in the head with it, ultimately hoping that the big guys will roll over and say, don't do it to me anymore.
Well, we'll be with you next Sunday as the series continues with Game 3. From the Forum in Inglewood, 3:30 Eastern on Sunday for Game 3 between the Celtics and Lakers. The next 2 games are in Los Angeles. And, of course, all of the NBA Championship Series will be seen live right here on CBS. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Wilkes, he's hot. And Wilkes has 11 points off the bench. Boy, what a bonus that is for the Lakers if Jamal Wilkes all of a sudden regains the shooting eye. He's hit his last 5.
And he's Magic Johnson's favorite target when he's in there.
Celtic lead at 1x13 has been cut to 4. And is concerned on the Boston side. And Kareem knocks it into the hands of Cooper. And here's Worthy. And the Lakers have come all the way back to within 2. And the Celtics are stunned. They're like a fighter that's been knocked down. The buzzer sounds. And the Los Angeles Lakers, with a 13-2 run, winding up this first half, have given the Boston Celtics something to think about. It's 61-59 at the half. Boston's lead is down to 2. We'll be back with Brent and the gang coming up.
Want to clear out a room full of guys in a hurry? Try this. The Shadow from Honda. People want to listen to it. People want to look at it. And everybody wants to ride it. The Shadow from Honda. Now you know who's in charge.
The elements will come to test your spray paint outside where metal needs great protection. When you choose an ordinary spray paint based on price, you pay the price. When you choose Rust-Oleum spray paint, you choose a paint that fights fading and rust longer than ordinary spray paint. So when the elements come, be ready. When others fail, Rust-Oleum won't.
The worst thing a vaulter can do is lose his nerve. Because if you don't have the guts to keep going back, you're defeated.
7-Eleven is a major sponsor of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team, giving great athletes like Billy Olson the freedom to become the best.
I just keep one thought in my head. Go over that bar higher than anyone has ever done it before.
7-Eleven. The dream begins with freedom.
There we were in no man's land, when the moving truck died in the sun and the sand. So since it seemed we'd be a while, we set up house and we waited in style. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited. Now I know Ryder and some newer. They're tougher, they're strong, and driving a bargain sure didn't pay. So next time I'll think this way, it's Ryder or it's wrong.
We are back in the Boston Garden, known around the NBA as the home of champions, and 14 of their great championship banners still hang from the rafters here. And of course, long before folks were talking about Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, they were talking about this man right here in the city, number 14, Bob Cousy. Led Holy Cross to an NCAA championship, and then he led the Boston Celtics to 6 world titles behind the back. Big Bill Russell never had such an easy layup as that one right there. Fed to him by the man who is with me now, Bob Cousy. And Bob, so nice to have you with us here. I know you stay very active and close broadcasting the Celtic games during the season. What about this particular game? I thought the Celtics had it in hand, and then it started to slide away.
Absolutely. It's a series that's going to be dominated by really intensity and defense, Brent. I think this is where the Celts got into trouble on Sunday. L.A. came in and listened to all that rhetoric about, you know, they're tired, jet lag. They played Friday night, and it gave them an additional challenge, and they were even higher for the game than they normally were. And I think the Celts believed all that jazz, and it was just enough of a downer where the combination produced a win. But it's, you know, whatever happened during the year or technical things don't play a role. It's really intensity that's going to dominate.
Bob, people always ask me, and let me ask you, could the Celtic teams have fared well today against the current NBA groups?
Well, assuming that those were still hopefully the best teams put together, you know, it's like saying, can the old superstar compete today? Yes, in individual terms, they certainly can. I think the key would be that we or the individual would not dominate the way we did in those days. I mean, I was around for 6 championships, but God, you know, they won 11 out of 13. That's incredible domination in a highly competitive area. So they wouldn't do that, but they'd certainly be competitive.
What's the biggest change in today's game from when you start?
Salaries.
Salaries,
you noticed that, huh?
Bob, it's always a pleasure to have you with us, and I know the man that signed you to the first contract, known far and wide as the godfather of this league, and that's Red Auerbach, and Pat O'Brien takes a special look at him, so let's go down to Pat now.
Thank you, Brent. You know, listening to you guys talk about the tradition here and standing down here on the parquet floor and looking around at the fans, I can tell that the fans are not only loyal but appreciative. And one of the people they are constantly saying thank you to is the man responsible for all this, indeed, one of the founders of professional sports. The founding fathers in baseball, Connie Mack. Football, George Halas, Papa Bear. And Arnold Jacob Auerbach, in basketball known as Red. At age 66, Red is still in the game.
Get him off him or give him a saddle!
Today, Red is known as the legend, and it's no wonder. He saw the very first tip-off in the NBA, created a dynasty with the Boston Celtics as coach, general manager, and president, 14 world championships. Not bad for a kid who once thought his best quality in basketball was hustling on defense. Well, he hustled his way through the ranks, a starter in college. Then, since there was no NBA, a high school teacher, waiting in the wings until the 40s when the NBA was formed. Molded in the early days by one Red Auerbach.
I believe in the fast break concept. You know, you get the outlet pass, hit the lanes, go. And I believed that the crowds would come to see that type of basketball. I wanted action. I felt the people wanted action.
Hey, how about carry the ball, Mendy, one time, huh?
And action he gave them. He was a pioneer in ref baiting, and he looked at his nearly $20,000 in fines as an investment in winning.
I was the first one to get thrown out of a game deliberately. Like, we'd be 15 behind, and nothing I did changed it. So I get thrown out. At least 80% of the times or more, we'd win those games. I never deluded myself into thinking that my boys would win it for dear old Red. They just wanted to show they could win it without me.
But they usually won together, and oh, did they win. Red, the players, and something called Celtic pride.
And the buzzer goes off, it's all over. The Boston Celtics are once again the world champions.
You're proud to be a Celtic, and after a while, it's a big thing. It's important, but you win games with it. They could take all those stats and burn them. There's only one stat. Did you win or did you lose? That's where it's at.
You might say Red is a collector. He's gathered 14 championship banners. He keeps those in the Boston Garden. At home in Washington, D.C., he collects things about as unrelated to basketball as you can get.
I collect letter openers and other things that I like, things that appeal to me. I always felt that while I was coaching, I had to have diversification, which took my mind away from just basketball. I think too many coaches today become too narrow. Their whole life is basketball.
After he gave up coaching in 1966, there was more time with Dottie. But Red had collected a lot of basketball knowledge and continued to pass it on through books.
Here's the same book in Russian, and they haven't come up with anything, sir.
And you'd never keep him away from lecturing future Celtics.
One word I never want to hear, never, is why.
And as the club's president and general manager, earlier this year, his competitive spirit put him on the floor again to solve an argument. All in the process of getting one more title, one more victory cigar, yes, one more trophy.
I'm so proud of them, like any other championship. Yahoo! It's a lot more fun to win than to lose. And you want to go through the whole summer having people come at you and say, what happened? It's easier to win it. It's more fun.
Arnold Jacob Auerbach, you know, he's cutting back on his day-to-day on his duties here, cutting back on the day-to-day operations. But Brent, I'm sure Bob Cousy will agree that as long as Red Auerbach is around, he'll continue to mold the Celtics, if not basketball. Let's go back up top to Brent.
All right, Pat, and of course Bob does agree. Listen, Red was always tough with a contract. What did he get you for your first contract with the Celtics?
Oh, you really know how to hate a guy. You really want me to tell you that in front of millions of people? How about if I whisper it to you?
What was it?
I think I held out for about $9,000, I'm ashamed to say.
You're worth a lot more than that, Coos. Let's go back and renegotiate. And when we come back, we're going to talk to a man who's going to have to pay his stars a lot more than that, Kevin Lockery. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Saturday, Major Indoor Soccer League Championship action. The Baltimore Blast take on the St. Louis Steamers this weekend on a special edition of CBS Sports Saturday. This is CBS.
From Channel 2, this is Newsbreak. I'm George Sells. There's going to be a big change at Tiger Stadium tomorrow night when the Baltimore series begins, and it's going to make a lot of fans very unhappy. You'll hear part of our live interview tonight with Rick Dempsey, the Baltimore Oriole, with those critical remarks about the Tigers. The government suddenly changes plans for an even bigger crackdown on smoking. More bombs set off by someone who claims to represent a homosexual group. And you know Miss Buxley from the Beetle Bailey comic strip? Her future may be in doubt. Eyewitness News after the ball game.
Life's financial crossroads. Which route do you take to make your money grow? The best investment is to sit down one-to-one with an IDS American Express planner to work out a long-term financial plan so you can move on with confidence. Sit down with an IDS American Express planner. It could be the best investment you'll ever make.
Nothing could be better for cutting grass than the dependable Snapper high-vac lawn machine. Come fall, the high-vac does a job on leaves, and the Snapper Rider won't hibernate for winter either, thanks to a front-mounted two-stage snow thrower. Come spring, the Thatcherizer means a beautiful, revitalized lawn without lifting a rake. Snapper. Discover the difference.
Receive a rear bag catcher free when you purchase a Snapper Rider from Billings Feed Store, Royal Oak, Berlier & Sons, Fraser, Rochester Lawn Equipment, Rochester.
I want to fly out to Hawaii, visit far-off land.
I want to climb a mountaintop, walk on distant sand.
American Airlines has the places you want to go at prices that'll make you want to go now.
From the sunrise in the east to the sunset in the west, we're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
For the sake of all of us who work with Tom Selleck, a true blue Tiger fan, go get him, Tigers. Please.
Ted Turner with me, Saturday at 6:30 on Channel 2.
Well, the sun broke out in the Washington area, even though it's been raining hard here throughout New England this afternoon. They got the first round of the Kemper Open in, and this is a course for the long hitters, and one is on top. Greg Norman of Australia at 4 under par, and we will be bringing you live coverage of the third and fourth rounds on Saturday and Sunday here on CBS. One NBA note, earlier in the week, George Irvin, at the age of 36, was named the coach of the Indiana Pacers. He's the youngest coach in the league. Folks, look at his hair. Not a streak of gray in it. Now take a look at Kevin Lockery. He's only 38. It's all That's what happens when you coach in this league.
He'll look like me shortly.
He sure will. About halfway through the season. Kevin, what about the first half? I thought the Celtics had put them away, but they left them around.
They really gave him a big lift. For the Lakers to go off the floor only 2 points down, they have to feel extremely well that they've done such an excellent job to get back in this game.
Magic Johnson had a terrific first half.
He's such a great basketball player. He's making the outside shot. Here's why it's tough for Parish. He's double and triple teamed. Magic picks up the steal. He steals balls. He rebounds. He's blocked a few shots. Here he'll make the outside jumper, which people say he doesn't have. That one was on the move. That's a good shot.
Larry Bird had one of his magic moments.
Well, Larry Bird does so much also. He misses his shot here. It's to show the competitiveness that Larry Bird has. He misses this shot. He comes right back for the offensive rebound to steal the ball off Rambis. Steals the ball. Now he's got the good outside shot. He sets himself. He can make that shot all day if he's open.
Kevin, you know, in a situation like this, when a team comes back, I have to think the Celtics could be in a bit of a trouble. They've got to play well at the start of the third period.
That's exactly right, Brent. I think the top of the third period is key right now. Ainge's going to have to come back in the game, hit 4 or 5 jumpers in this half if they're going to beat the Lakers tonight.
How about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? You've been watching the battle of the men in the center.
One thing that Parish has done tonight, he's nullified them. They both have 6 points at halftime, and that's what Parish has to do. He likes to score more Parish himself, but if he can hold Kareem to just the same amount of points he's done his job.
Jamal Wilkes is getting his touchback.
Pat Riley told us that he would try to use Jamal Wilkes as much as possible with Kareem. They play so well together. You can see him starting to turn it around and becoming the player he was early in the year.
All right, coming up now, it's the second half of Game 2 of the NBA World Championship Series. The Lakers are already ahead in this series, 1 victory to none. Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn will be back in a moment.
You know, back in 1941, AC invented the copper core spark plug for planes like my P-51 Mustang.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
It's amazing that some of today's cars work so hard, they need that copper core technology also.
And AC's got it.
AC has fire-ring spark plugs for most all cars, and they're engineered to give you up to 30,000 miles of reliable performance. AC Delco, the smart parts. For 40 years, they've never let me down.
Here's to good friends.
Terrific reunion.
Yeah, the last time we were here, we made history.
Tonight is kind of special.
I stole that ball.
I made the pass.
I made the shot.
Make that shot again, we'll buy you a loan rock.
The beer will pour. Must say something. Hey, what can I tell you? We still got it.
Never lost it.
Let it be low and brown.
You never know when the weather's going to turn on you, do you? That's why Michelin developed the XA4 all-season tire. The Michelin XA4 is superb in the rain, and it performs like a great handling highway tire on dry pavement. And with proper care, the tread lasts up to 60,000 miles. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Back at Boston Garden, where the Celtics lead the Lakers 61-59. The shooting percentages. Now Los Angeles is out shooting Boston. Most of them have been layups off the break. Boston, most of the field goals have come from the outside by the guards, and that's why the percentages show that. But look at the free throws. 12 more Celtic points at the free throw line. 17-5. Now, Tom Heinsohn, what brought the Lakers back in the game in the latter stages of that first half?
They remind me of tigers in the high grass, ready to pounce on some prey. You've got to be ever alert and watch out for them. Any errant passes, they're ready to pick off. Any ill-advised penetration up the middle, they're ready to steal the ball.
So the second half for Boston?
Boston has got to run like they did in the beginning of the ball game and hit those outside shots like they did to open up the power game inside.
Okay. Individual scoring, Magic Johnson with 14. Jamal Wilkes and James Worthy each with 11 for the Lakers. Larry Bird has 13 to lead the Celtics. Cedric Maxwell has 11 points. The big story, Wilkes. He's back. 5 for 6 from the field. 11 points. 2-point lead, Gerald Henderson. Once again, the guards continue to shoulder the burden of the baskets for Boston. That was Gerald Henderson.
A good shot to start the half with, an 18-footer.
So it's Henderson and Dennis Johnson in the backcourt. Parish gets the rebound. He and Kareem were in a standoff in the first half, as Kevin mentioned. They both had 6 points, and they both corralled 7 rebounds.
Look how quickly those Lakers were back to protect against the Celtics' fast break. The Celtics will have to keep pushing the ball at them.
Dennis Johnson looking inside. Maxwell trying to get position against Rambis. Parish. That'll drop. Robert Parish came over from Golden State in a very big trade several years ago. The Celtics won a title then, looking for another championship, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's been struggling from the field, that's only his 4th basket in 12 tries, and it's 65-61. Celtics lead. Maxwell driving the lane. Rambis bumping it. Now the Lakers trying to get to within 2 again. Michael Cooper. Henderson gambling for the steal, and now they call the illegal defense against the Celtics on Robert Parish, and that will be a technical foul. That's the 2nd time Boston's been called on it.
Kareem was way above the 3-point circle, and Parish had to stay above the foul line, and he didn't.
Magic Johnson will take the technical foul.
All these coaches are playing that illegal rule, and there's Kareem calling the referee's attention to it. Look at where Robert Parish is. He's in the paint.
1.5 minutes gone by, 3rd period. Michael Cooper. Kareem working against Parish. Long skyhook, and it drops for Abdul-Jabbar, who has hit 2 field goals early here in the 3rd period and has 10 points. And the Celtic lead is down to 1. The Lakers have never had the lead in this game. Bird gets it low. Near the basket. Not near enough. Maxwell, loose ball inside. Blocked by Kareem. And trying to save it, and diving into the 5th row of the stands is Michael Cooper. I'm not exaggerating when I say 5th row either.
A long leak by Michael Cooper as a timeout is called, Dick.
Exactly 2 minutes gone by in this 3rd period, and LA is right on the backs of the Celtics.
I see your desk got a computer on it.
Yeah, smart desk.
Going to the game?
Me, I don't need a computer. I just call Bert.
What if Bert's not in?
I wait till Bert's back. Who's playing?
Detroit. You know, I don't know how I managed before.
Well, machines and I just don't mix, know what I mean?
Sure. I'll see you at the game.
Yeah, actually, I've got a little more to do.
Some people don't need an IBM computer on their desk.
That you, Bert?
The Smart Desk is for people who do.
He's at the game.
Hello, Ghostbusters.
Ghosts. They're real.
You do?
They're mean.
You have?
They're here. Someone's got to stop them. It's a job for the Ghostbusters.
How are you? The Ghostbusters.
The best, the only.
We came, we saw, we kicked it.
Ghostbusters, rated PG. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Friday, a city is consumed by wildfire as Henry Fonda, Susan Clark, Barry Newman, and Shelley Winters star in City on Fire, Friday.
Obviously some problems for Casey Jones, who's looking for his first world title. He teamed with Bill Russell for 2 national titles at University of San Francisco. When Michael Cooper jumped into the 5th row, that gentleman took the brunt of Michael Cooper's shoe.
And knee and everything.
Bloodied but not bowed.
Oh, he had a red shirt.
Tough fans here. Under 10 minutes to go, 3rd period. 1-point lead. Lakers trailing the Celtics 65-64. Still Boston ball. Casey Jones, part of 8 world titles as a guard. Quiet, not colorful. And a relaxed atmosphere has helped the Celtics. Right now they need more than relaxation. Dennis Johnson hemmed in with 3. Try to go up with the shot anyway, it appears. I don't know if that was a pass.
That was a forced shot, Dick, and with all that defense in the paint that LA has, there's no place for Dennis to go. He's got to take the outside shot.
Lakers can take the lead for the first time in the ball game. At one point in the second period, they were down by 13, but now they have the lead. Abdul-Jabbar, who has scored 6 points now in the third period, he's come alive. The Lakers have been alive for a while. They're up by 1 with 9:16 to play in the period. Dennis Johnson gives the Celtics the lead again.
That's what he has to do, and that's what Henderson has to do to open up that inside game of the Celtic with their big people. Hit the outside shot.
And that's what Wedman and Ainge did when they were in there off the bench.
And they brought the lead up very nicely.
8 seconds on the 24-second shot clock. James Worthy. Now Rambis. 3 seconds, and Cooper is going for 3 points. They forced that one. Birds lead pass down court to Johnson. Johnson trying for 2 in a row. He's hit 2 in a row.
I don't know why he's hesitant to take it. He can hit it.
Dennis Johnson in his 8th year from Pepperdine out in California. Kareem comes back and gets fouled, and a slam. Reverse layup dunk underneath. It's been all Kareem for the Lakers in this third period.
2 sky hooks. Sets up this move. Parish so afraid of the sky hook, he challenges him for it, and a nice roll move by Jabbar. Wow, that is smart basketball. That's playing with Parish's head.
He has 8 of the 9 points the Lakers have scored here in the third, and now 9 out of 10.
Little head games go on with those big guys down there.
We're tied at 69. A little more than 4 minutes gone by in this third period. Parish facing the hoop, lost his footing. And now they call the foul. It'll be the first foul on the Lakers in this period. And it's on Magic Johnson, the second personal foul on Magic. No one is in any foul trouble at this point.
No, but Parish tried to do exactly to Kareem what Kareem did to him. Take it to the basket before the double developed.
Henderson working against Magic Johnson. Nothing there. Larry Bird. Maxwell gets the offensive rebound, fights his way up and draws the foul. That's what Max does for Boston.
With the rotation of that double team defense, that's going to allow somebody on the Celtics to stream in on that offensive board, and Maxwell does it oh so well.
But Larry Bird really has not gotten untracked with the long-range shooting.
As of last Saturday, he was complaining to himself that he wasn't shooting well. He made a free throw here on Sunday, made the free throw and got mad. I couldn't believe it.
Parish talking to Ray Melchiori, the Celtics trainer. The trainers mean so much to these clubs. Jack Curran, of course, has done a terrific job with the Lakers. Maxwell has 6 rebounds, all of them off the offensive board, and he is a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Celtics by 2, 7:50 remaining, third period. Kareem is way outside of the left. Dennis Johnson makes a steal on Cooper's pass. Here's Bird. Trying to get his shooting eye back. Larry has 15 for the game.
Magic sets fire to the Lakers with his passing. Bird with his outside shooting.
Dennis Johnson loses Cooper, and Parish picks him up. And Michael Cooper misses the shot. Rambis might have been shoving off and pushing off. He's called for the foul. It's a loose ball foul. There is Clark Kent in short pants. He was Superman 2 years ago when he came from Greece as a free agent.
He tried to be Superman on that play. Blocked 2 of the Celtics off at the same time.
Celtics with the ball. Their lead is 4. McAdoo will be coming in for the Lakers. A foul and a good fake by Bird. The foul is on Michael Cooper, and that's his third. He is the second Laker to pick up his third foul. Rambis is the other. Bob McAdoo returns to the game. He has scored 6 points.
Cooper on Larry Bird is a classic defensive matchup. Quickness against size.
And Rambis is out.
And Rambis is out. McAdoo is in.
Cooper is on Bird. Rebound Maxwell. And a foul. That bench, they get all the cheerleaders they need. The Boston Celtics on the bench. Danny Ainge doing it there.
There's Bird as the double team is about to happen. But watch Maxwell. Nobody rotated to block him out, left him all alone underneath. Great aggressiveness by Maxwell.
And he has 10 rebounds. All offensive rebounds.
How to ride a Honda scooter. First, select shirt pant combo. We suggest this or this. Next, select appropriate shoes. We suggest 2.
Then choose a scooter that best expresses your individuality. There are many sizes and colors.
And always wear your helmet.
Honda scooters. They're everything but ordinary.
How come we're hiding in these bushes, boss?
To catch them illegal distance balls. Dimwit, let's go! All right, hand over that there hot ball.
Hot ball? Oh, no, Sheriff. It's the even longer top flight. And a higher flying Top Flight XL. The longest balls.
The new Top Flights. Anything longer must be illegal.
By the way, Sheriff. Yep. What's your handicap?
Him.
So this is the new log cabin.
Thanks for giving me a hand.
Hey, what are friends for?
Here's to good friends. Tonight's kind of special.
Try it this way.
The beer we'll pour says something more somehow.
Looks like we're about done, huh? Not yet, you're not.
Tonight.
Not a bad day's work. Next weekend, we put in the pool.
Let it be low and brown.
Tom, this has been the Laker game plan so far in the first 2 games.
Packing it in the paint. All 5 of the Lakers inside that painted area in the free throw lane. And it's almost impossible to penetrate it, as we'll see Dennis Johnson with the ball try and get inside. He's surrounded by 3 players, forced to take a poor shot. You can't score against that defense unless you first get them to move outside with some outside shooting.
And that's what the Celtics have gotten lately. The Celts have run off 6 straight points to break a 69-69 tie. And with 6:52 remaining in the 3rd period, Cedric Maxwell's gone for 10 for 10. Maxwell has 16 points. He is the Boston's high scorer. He has averaged 11 points in the playoffs. So he's having a rousing ball game. Kareem and Magic Johnson each have 15 to lead the Lakers. James Worthy guarded by Maxwell outside. Kareem and McAdoo also up front. Cooper and Johnson the guard. Lakers with their interchangeable parts. And here's James Worthy. He's fouled. Maxwell fouled Worthy on a long-range shot. Worthy made the basket and will go to the line.
Kevin Lockery said yesterday, can you imagine when James Worthy can hit that 20-foot outside shot? He's so right. If ever he hits that shot consistently, and I think he will, nobody's going to be able to stop him unless he's got a blessing from up in the clouds somewhere.
He's hit his last 6 shots, Tom, and with 6:24 remaining in the 3rd period, it's a 4-point game. The Celtics lead. Bird, good position inside. Takes the fall away. Parish gets the offensive rebound, and it drops. So the Boston Celtics going to town on the offensive boards, most of them from Maxwell, that time by Parish.
That's their power, the big people hitting the boards. And McHale is still on the bench. So he's one of the best at it for the Celtics.
So each team is going to their strength. Here's Worthy again outside. 7 in a row for James Worthy, and now Worthy has 16 points, and he becomes Los Angeles' high scorer. So it's power game for Boston against the quickness of the Lakers. Henderson outside. Loose ball, Bird. Parrott. No mistake there.
The Celtics almost got caught on that one.
Henderson was a pesky defender in the backcourt.
If he had missed the ball, the Lakers would have been off and running.
80-74, so the Celtics have opened it up to 6 points again. Throwing the ball away is McAdoo. Boston has it on the turnover.
Excellent defense by Robert Parish to cut down the passing angle to Jabbar.
The Celtics had a 13-point lead in the first half. The Lakers came back and took their only lead at 66-65. But Boston has put the game together again. Now here's the break. The outlet pass. Worthy ahead of the field. And he's fouled by Dennis Johnson. 3 fouls on Dennis Johnson. And it was almost another 3-point play situation.
When Dennis took that shot, Worthy was ready to take off up the court. Look at him heading up the court. Dennis Johnson about 4 steps behind him. And the best of efforts tries to make sure he doesn't make an easy 2.
Well, he has an easy 2 at the line, and so that foul, which was a definite deliberate foul by Johnson, paid off as Worthy misses the first.
That's what makes Worthy so dangerous, his quickness up the court and their willingness to look for him, these Lakers.
We still haven't seen McHale come off the bench in this third period. The Celtics' not-so-secret weapon. Dennis Johnson, short. Here comes a break, perhaps. Outlet pass. Cooper ahead. And a foul on Dennis Johnson. Well, Dennis Johnson fouled Worthy, and now Cooper, and now Dennis has 4.
Well, now the Lakers starting to assert themselves with what they do best, that fast break. You miss the outside shot, a long rebound, and you're going to be in trouble unless everybody hustles back. Robert Parish is trying almost a 2-on-1, and Dennis has to foul under the gun.
And Kevin McHale gets off the bench. He has scored 7 points. He had 25 in game number 1 on Sunday. Robert Parish goes to the bench. And now Casey Jones is also going to counter with Scott Wedman. Wedman hit 2 field goals when Ainge and Wedman put together a good outside shooting duo in the second period when the Celtics open up their big lead.
Any of the Celtic guards miss a couple of outside shots. Casey's going quickly to the bench to find somebody that can hit that outside shot.
Cooper misses the free throw. 1 out of 2. 4:40 remaining. Third period. 80-76 Boston. Lakers didn't have the lead at all until this third period. Celtics regained it in a hurry. Bird nearly lost it. Johnson does. Cooper to Magic. Wedman is back, but it's a 2-on-1 for LA. Oh, yeah! Worthy with the basket and the foul as he goes flying over a photographer. I hope he's all right. Well, he's hurting right now. 22nd timeout as James Worthy took a header flying over the post, and a slew of photographers, and Jack Curran, the Laker trainer, is out there.
Here's an ill-advised shot and pass to Bird. He's just trying to hold on. There was no pass to Bird. Here's Dennis now. Figures he's got an opening, and that defense again surrounds him. Up comes Magic, and Worthy already out on the break and way ahead of him. And boy, did he get clobbered.
Dennis Johnson has committed his 5th personal foul. 1 more and he's gone, and James Worthy apparently is all right, although he is shaken up. Worthy missed his first shot of the game, and he has hit his last 8. And the Celtic lead of 80-78 once again in dire jeopardy here, and Dennis Johnson has 5 personal fouls, and he has to come out. Danny Ainge.
Well, that was the matchup that speed created, forced Casey Jones to make sure that DJ played on him, and he's not getting back quick enough to stop Worthy. So that's his job, to make sure Worthy doesn't get out there on the break, but he certainly is showing tail to everybody.
Danny Ainge is coming back in. He scored 8 points. So now Ainge and Wedman, who are effective outside shooters, are in the ball game, but the lead has been cut to 1 again, 80-79, with 4:17 to go in the third. So James Worthy remains in the game, and he's guarding Scott Wedman. Johnson, Magic is on Ainge. McHale double team. Wedman is open. Big basket once again for Wedman. He hit 3 in game 1 Sunday. He's got 3 so far tonight. Worthy on a pass from Magic Johnson, and that's the best pass of the ball game inside.
They better go back to the locker room and decide by lottery who's going to guard Worthy, because nobody seems to know where he is.
Worthy has 11 points this period, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 9. They have 20 between them. 3:38 remaining. The Lakers trying to regain the lead. They've had it only once. On the shot clock. Kareem, a pass to Cooper, and the Lakers have their second lead of the ball game at 83-82.
The Celtics defense isn't as packed in as the LA Lakers, so any cutters are easily getting through for easy passes from Jabbar.
Bird missing. Rebounding is Magic. Cooper and the fast break going to town, and the LA Lakers now lead by 3, and they are running the Celtics at this point off the Boston Garden court. And the Celtics don't have their running team in there. McHale, long range hits. Good thing for Wedman and McHale the last few times the Celtics have come down the court. Otherwise, they'd be down by more.
Well, by playing Wedman for that outside shooting, that's not the speediest team to protect against the fast break.
Laker lead is 1. 2.5 minutes to play in the third period. Celtics have already lost one home game, and now a 3-second violation is called against LA. When your team has the ball, you're not allowed to stand in that lane for 3 seconds. You have to get out of that lane. The Lakers didn't, and so they turned it over to the Boston Celtics. And a timeout, 2:27 remaining in the third. Los Angeles by 1.
Nearly 4 hours. That's how long it took us to paint this room with a roller. Then we painted it in less than 1 hour with the new Wagner Power Roller. A living room that took nearly 7 hours. The Wagner Power Roller finished in less than 3. The Power Roller pumps paint straight from the can to the roller or to any of several optional accessories. Why waste your time painting a pan when you could be painting your walls instead? The Wagner Power Roller, the right tool for painting.
You're looking at 2 very special pickups. The one on the left, the most powerful 6-cylinder engine in any pickup. On the right, the highest gas mileage of all the full-size pickups. Both come together in one tough truck. Ford's 4.9-liter 6. You get the gas economy you want with the most power you can get in a 6. All in one full-size pickup. Ford's 4.9-liter 6. The best-built American trucks are built Ford Tough.
Say goodbye to America's favorite can of motor oil. That Quaker State quality America has trusted for over 70 years now comes exclusively in this unique, easy-to-pour plastic bottle, made to cost you nothing extra.
So long, spouts. See you, dirty hands. Goodbye, oily rags.
No more leaky cans.
Get Quaker State's pen-grade protection and no mess, easy to open, pour, and reseal. Today, you need an oil this good in a package this good.
At Boston Garden for game number 2 of the NBA World Championship Series. This is Dick Stockton along with Tom Heinsohn, Brent Musburger, Kevin Lockery, and Pat O'Brien. The Boston Celtics had things to themselves in the first half, leading by as many as 13, but the Lakers' sizzling fast break has taken over the game. They're leading by 185-84. First game of the series was won right here in Boston by the Lakers by the score of 115-109. You're looking at the shooting so far. The Celtics have had more shots, but the Lakers 10 of 13, and that's why they have the lead. Larry Bird is only 1 for 6 shooting in this period. And now traveling call against Wedman of the Celtics. And the Celtics right now, as you look at their brain trust, Chris Ford, Jimmy Rogers, who helped K.C. Jones, they're a beleaguered team right now. Nearly 2 minutes to go in the third period. Bob McAdoo, someone got a piece of that. And here comes Boston. Maxwell, who's had a terrific ball game. Bird with McAdoo in front of him. McHale fighting Wilkes, who's into the ball game. Maxwell comes out with it for Boston. What a terrific ball game Maxwell has played. He has 16 points. Boston's high scorer. Worthy with 22 leads LA. Worthy's on the bench now as Wilkes replaces him. Bird. Larry Bird with 17 in the ball game. He had missed his last 6 shots. So the Celtics regain the lead with 1:24 to go in the third period.
They're getting some good mileage out of that bench, though, the Lakers right now.
Wilkes. Maxwell trying to save it, and he does to Danny Ainge. Here comes Boston's break. Ainge. If Jamal Wilkes has been a hero so far off the bench for the Lakers with 11 points, you can say the same for Danny Ainge, who has hit 5 bombs and 10 points, and good passing for the Celtics off the bench. 88-85 Boston with Byron Scott also in the ball game. Kareem misses, and now Ainge controls for Boston. And Danny Ainge is going wild. 6 for 9 for Ainge and 12 points.
Not the best of shots, but it counts. He's a streaky shooter. And when he's hot, he's hot.
13 on the shot clock. 16 now remaining in the period as Irvin Johnson hits from outside. He has 17. Celtics playing for the last shot, leading by 3. And Wedman goes for 3. He's short. Scott's no good. It's a nip and tuck ball game, and after 3, it's Boston 90, Los Angeles 87, and the Garden fans are thrilled. And we'll return to the Boston Garden after this word from your local station.
This weekend, the long and demanding Congressional course will test a top PGA field when they play the 17th Kemper Open, starting Saturday on CBS Sports.
This is CBS. I've driven in the snow, and I've driven in the mud. Let me tell you, neither's fun, bud.
Drive on Bridgestone. Drive on.
Eats up snow and tracks like an arrow, drinks up the water and spits out the miles, and that's miles of smiles.
Drive on Bridgestone. Drive on.
Being safe and feeling right, you got your world locked up tight, right?
Right. Drive on Bridgestone. Drive on.
High-tech tread design for all kinds of weather. The name is Bridgestone.
Drive on Bridgestone. Drive on.
It's like a European road car, but it's an American luxury car. It's the new 1985 Oldsmobile 98 Regency, and it's taking the Detroit area by storm. That's why the real people, the Detroit area Olds dealers, are giving a free golf-size umbrella with every new 98 test drive right now. Come on in, rain or shine. You've got to drive the new 98 Regency to believe it.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's championship game from Boston, Massachusetts is sponsored by Miller High Life. Welcome to Miller Time. Honda Power Equipment. Lawnmowers and generators that are built to last. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Right now, for another point of view, let's go to Brent Musburger and Kevin Lockery. Guys?
All right, Kevin, you're K.C. Jones. What are you going to do now to try and hold on and get back in this series?
The key, Brent, is the outside shooting. There's no doubt about it. If you're going to play Ainge and Wedman together, you give them an awful lot of court speed. They have to make the outside shot, or the Lakers run them off the floor.
If I'm Pat Riley, I get James Worthy back fast. Let's go back to Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn.
I don't think K.C. Jones wants that, Brent. He'd like James Worthy to take a vacation on the bench, right?
I tell you, they've had so much trouble finding James Worthy. The Celtics ought to look him up in the yellow pages out there. Under W.
The Celtics have a big edge in offensive rebounding. 15-8, and they've converted them into 19 points. But you wanted Worthy, and you got him. Worthy is up front with McAdoo and Jamal Wilkes, Byron Scott and Cooper in the backcourt, and Larry Bird begins the 4th period on the bench for the Celtics to get some rest. And a turnover as Cooper threw an errant pass to Byron Scott. So the Celtics with a 3-point lead. Kareem also on the bench, so the big guns are not all out there as we start the final 12 minutes, barring overtime. McHale trying to get it to Maxwell, still Boston ball.
They're forcing that pass on the doubles to the man going to the basket. It just isn't there. They should make the pass outside for the outside shot.
This is the 4th quarter chess game that goes on, and each substitution has a meaning as Parish Misses. Long rebound to Cooper, and the Lakers are able to break, and Cooper. The foul is called. Wedman might have pushed Cooper, who was jarred a little bit.
Well, that was that foot speed that Kevin Lockery talked about by using Wedman and Ainge. It ended up almost a 4-on-1 situation. Danny Ainge must have felt like Custer. He had them all.
Foul is on Danny Ainge. That is his third personal foul. So it wasn't on the Wedman-Cooper collision, but it was on Jamal Wilkes. Wilkes was fouled by Danny Ainge. Very unorthodox style for Jamal Wilkes at the free throw line. When he was a youngster, his sister Naomi was such a good player in her own right. She used to block his shots. He had to come up with another way, and he did.
From behind the ear.
It's worked for him, hasn't it?
How much protection does an ear give you?
Celtic lead down to 1. We're in the opening minute of this fourth period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn reporting. Harris is hit. So now the Lakers pick up their first personal foul.
But the inside game of the Celtics, Robert Parish, is taking long to develop right now. They ought to be able to capitalize with Jabbar on the bench. So they're trying to go to him to make sure that he'll count.
Harris missed the free throw. Scott's personal was his third. Kareem remains on the bench for Los Angeles. Larry Bird on the bench for Boston. Magic Johnson is also on the bench for LA. It's still Boston ball. Keep in mind now that only 4 teams have come back from a 2-0 deficit to win a best-of-7 playoff series in NBA history, and no team has ever lost the first 2 at home and come back and won. Celtics lost game number 1 at home. So a lot of meaning right here. 1 minute going by. Wedman coming around a screen and hits. Got Wedman with 8 points. So between the two of them, Ainge and Wedman have 20 points.
And now they're working to get Wedman open for his shots. That's a good sign.
Jamal Wilkes. You don't want to give him too much room anywhere. Comes inside on the feet from Worthy. He wanted it. He missed it. And now with a 3-point lead, the Celtics trying to open it up again. Keep in mind they did have a 13-point lead in the first half. That evaporated. Wedman for 3. And the rebound. And it's a loose ball foul against the Lakers. So James Worthy started a run, but hold it.
A little push from behind. A favorite little trick when you're caught out of position. As the man goes up in the air, you put a hand in his back and nudge him off the court.
And coming back in the ball game for the Celtics is Larry Bird. We said at the outset, the heart and soul of the team. Cedric Maxwell gets a big standing ovation. He has scored 16 points. And that's the one thing the Celtics don't expect from him in that scoring. Done a superb job. Here's Bird working against Wilkes. 19 for Larry Bird. He's Boston's high scorer, and the Celtics lead by 5. How important are these first couple of minutes of this period?
Very, very important to establish what you're going to do, the outside shot or the inside game, and also perhaps for the Lakers to upbeat the pace of the game.
McAdoo drives in, and a Boston foul. It'll be a 2-shot foul. And now we'll have a timeout with 9:52 remaining. And the foul was on Larry Bird, his third. He doesn't agree.
Strong move by Bob McAdoo.
And the foul by Bird. Timeout.
Welcome. Working at Shorty, your days belong to somebody else, but your nights are all yours.
To Miller time.
Now comes your time with the best beer you can find, Miller High Life.
Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time. We've got the beer for what you have in mind. Welcome to Miller time.
Men, we're going to live off the land. It's going to be rough. Either you pitch in or shape up.
When you're far from home, you can't beat a Honda portable generator. You get 600 watts of power when you're nowhere near an electrical outlet.
Commander Fred, can we come in? Hold it, men! I'll I'll be right out.
The Honda portable generators. For camping, hunting, boating, even charging your car battery.
I go out and try to give them the best show possible.
The least you can do is give 100% because I feel that's what the fans want to see and that's what they pay for.
I know that when I'm on the basketball court, I'm there to be the show.
NBA action. It's fantastic.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Basketball Association.
The Raptors at Boston Garden, and they're cheering for the Celtics, who lead by 5. Pat Riley, who's a talented gentleman. He was a broadcaster, assistant coach. He is a creative man who uses videotape. When Norm Nixon was traded to San Diego, he got the team together and said, let's pay homage to him. He put together a very creative, with music, piece of Norm Nixon's accomplishments. I think the players appreciate him. And not only that, he has the highest winning playoff percentage in history by a wide margin right now. Pat Riley.
Great coach, in my opinion. Here's a guy that spent a little time in Boston and kind of left as a goat. Didn't kind of make it with the fans, but he certainly has made it with the LA fans, and then some.
Sure has. A great comeback story 2 years ago.
And I think he'd look like nothing better than to oust the Celtics out of this playoff.
He's the only member of the Lakers who used to play for the Celtics. He's been with 6 teams, well-traveled, but he's happy now. Not 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ainge throws the ball away. He was looking for Parish, but he threw it away. So on the turnover, the Lakers can cut the Celtic lead to 1 with 9.5 minutes, plenty of time remaining.
Parish zigged when he should have zagged that time on the Ainge pass.
It's Byron Scott to Wilkes, and now they turn it over that way. Couple of turnovers, and Riley off the bench. Neither one of these coaches, Riley or Casey Jones, get very excited the way my partner used to when he coached.
I lost my credit cards one time jumping up.
Parish going over McAdoo. And Robert Parish has 14 points. The Lakers are going to come back with their iron. Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson momentarily. Ainge is on Byron Scott, the rookie. Bird on Wilkes. McAdoo and Parish. And here's McAdoo going in, and the basket will count, and will get the foul too. So there was a one-on-one challenge, and McAdoo won it.
Well, that's speed. McAdoo got the real speed advantage on Parish. Parish got to respect the outside shot, which sets up the easy drive for McAdoo, and he gets clobbered going in there.
Foul is on Parish, his 3rd. The only player on the game in foul trouble is Dennis Johnson, who's been on the bench with 5 personal fouls. McAdoo gets the 3-point play to bring the Lakers to within 2. And there's Dennis Johnson, big guard. So now Magic Johnson and Kareem back in the lineup. McAdoo, Cooper, and Worthy. Good start and good 5 out there for LA. Bird gets fouled and gets helped up by Michael Cooper.
Michael Cooper knows how tough a job it is to guard Larry Bird. And I don't think anybody guards Larry Bird or gives him a tougher job than Michael Cooper.
Why does he do such a good job?
Because he uses his quickness. He's got the ability and the tenacity to try and deny him the possession of the ball. And he's got the better foot speed to, when he gets by him, to catch up with him.
Larry Bird has 20 points in this ball game. But he's had to struggle for the 20.
He works hard on every phase of the game of basketball, Larry Bird. There's no quitting that guy.
Cooper committed his 4th personal foul. Team fouls at 3 and 3. Once you get to 5, you're in the penalty. 8:25 to go, 4th period. 98-94, the Celtics lead, and traveling called against Bob McAdoo. And now the Celtics want a 20-second timeout. 20-second timeout, and they'll gather around Casey Jones, who is a head coach with the Washington Bullets, did not win a championship with that club, never thought he would get an opportunity to lead a team again. And when Red Auerbach tapped him on the shoulder when Bill Fitch left for Houston, it was a dream come true again.
Certainly was, and nobody deserved it more than Casey Jones. You know, He and I and two of the other Celtics used to sing in the shower. And they made a record, and guess who they left out? And made it a trio instead of a quartet.
Well, I'll tell you what, you might have been playing the bass drum. I don't know.
Listen, I had the best rendition of Granada you ever saw off those tiles in the shower.
We won't hear it tonight, though, right?
I hope not.
Okay. 8:19 to go. Celtics after the 22nd timeout. Maxwell. Now Wedman. Long rebound to Magic Johnson. Worthy on the break. Celtics get back nicely on defense to stop the break. McHale on McAdoo. Inside, Worthy. Basket counts and a foul. And they, for some reason, you know, we've said on this broadcast that the Lakers hadn't had anyone to guard McHale. The Celtics don't have anyone to stop Worthy.
Yes, and it goes inside nicely as Wedman tries to front them to deny him the ball, but it gets over the top. An easy one for Worthy.
He's got 25 points. Personal foul was on Maxwell.
Maybe they should look him up under J in the yellow pages.
It's not the way it's usually listed. 14 fouls against Boston. 7:49 on the clock, fourth period. Danny Ainge, top of the key. Bird gets the offensive rebound and is fouled going up for the shot.
The Lakers really hustling. They jammed at Danny Ainge when he took the shot, and Bird gets the rebound and 4 blue jerseys around him.
3 fouls on Magic Johnson and the 4th team foul against the Lakers. Dennis Johnson coming back into the ball game. Keep in mind he is playing with 5 personal fouls, 1 more and he'll be disqualified. Parish is back in. Wedman goes out. And there's Johnson. Magic Johnson, who has been the MVP of the playoffs in the 2 championship years. But the Lakers have captured the title. Jack Curran, the Laker trainer, talking to Jake O'Donnell. Something about someone's shoulder bothering him. Not sure what it is. I think it's Jake's shoulder that's bothering him, actually.
Well, they get in the middle of a lot of action. They can get hurt, too. You know, nobody knows how difficult it is to run up and down as an official for 48 minutes in a fast break game. You know, and no substitutions for those guys.
We have an alternate, and that's Paul Mihalik, just in case one of the officials can't go. Larry Bird missed one of the free throws. He was the best free throw shooter in the league this year. Long air ball, didn't touch anything by Kareem. Loop it in, and Kareem saves it at the other end. Does he show his greatness on that hustle?
What a hustle play by Kareem to get back. Parish had a 3-yard lead on him, but look at him get back into it. Beautiful hustle by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Danny Ainge goes out. He has scored 12 points and has been a bright light off the bench for Boston. And Gerald Henderson, number 43, who's handling the ball, is back in. 7:20 showing on the clock, 4th period. Henderson is open. Those are the shots that the Lakers dare the Celtics to make, and when they don't make them, the Lakers come on down fast. Magic Johnson lost it. Good defense by Boston. Maxwell, can he handle the ball for a big man at 6'8"? Bird. One of the few times you see Magic Johnson and Larry Bird guarding each other right then. You don't see it often.
Well, one's a guard, the other one's a forward. Doesn't happen too often.
Well, the way the Lakers play, you can't be surprised at anything they do. Timeout with 6:53 remaining in the 4th period. It's a slim lead for the Boston Celtics.
For sports, Channel 2's Fred McLeod covers all the bases. Fred McLeod in Channel 2 Eyewitness News at 5:30, 6, and 11. It's a sure hit.
There's magic afloat in the Great Lakes. You can feel it in the cool water and the warm sun. You can see it in a rainbow of wind-blown sails against a brilliant blue sky. The boats skim across the water in a free-form parade. It's Mother Nature's symphony, a joyous celebration of life, freedom, and the spirit of adventure.
But this World Championship Series continues with Game 3 Sunday from the Forum in Los Angeles. It'll start at 3:30 Eastern Time. The Celtics and the Lakers. It'll either be 1-1 or the Lakers will have a commanding, you could say, 2-0 lead if they can win this game on the Boston home court. The Celtics are angling to make it 1-1 when they go back to the Forum. Celtic guards have been occasionally maligned for their shooting this year, but tonight they're outscoring the Laker guards.
They've had plenty of opportunities, I'll tell you. They're giving them, proving, Pat Riley says, prove it to me that you can beat me from outside. It's going to take a little bit more than that.
Well, there's a lot of tradition at Boston Garden, and one of the traditions is right up there. Wearing a tuxedo is Johnny Most, who has been the voice of the Boston Celtics. He is a legend, and someday I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Most's number is hung up among the rafters.
On a microphone. He's my good friend. What a guy.
Celtics inbounding, leading by 2. We're nearly halfway through this final period. And the Lakers also have a legendary broadcaster in their own right. As Robert Parish hits another one from outside. He has 16 points. Bird with 22 leads Boston. Parish and Maxwell 16. So the guards have been doing some good shooting for Boston, but the front court has been doing a lot of scoring. Kareem falls off to Maxwell. 4-point lead.
The Lakers going to that go-to guy. If the fast break isn't there, get it to Kareem.
And Bird tried to get it to Henderson, but he tried to go in a crowd, and the Lakers were wary of it and picked it off. Now Magic Johnson control. Bird out to meet McAdoo. McAdoo, tough pulling up. It is just about impossible to stop him when he pulls up at 6'10", 6'11".
I remember when he's that Buffalo boy, used to knock him in from 30 feet. At least he's moved in a little bit as he's gotten older.
2-point lead now. Henderson going in, draws the foul. One of the advantages that Gerald Henderson has by penetrating, and that means driving to the basket, is that you can dish it off to someone for an easy basket, or you get fouled. On that play, he got fouled, and it's Magic Johnson with number 4.
But the Lakers have so many big people in there with those arm span. There aren't much room to get the passes through.
Maxwell gets a hand. He goes out having scored 16 points and 12 rebounds. 9 off the offensive glass, and he is replaced by Kevin McHale. So the Celtics, in essence, Tom, are getting some offense in and giving up some defense.
You got it.
5:40 to go. Plenty of time on the 24-second shot clock. Johnson puts it into Kareem. The go-to man, as you call him, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, now with 17 points.
80% of their set offense goes to Kareem.
Parish. Bird is there for the offensive rebound. Looking for a foul or a basket, got neither. And the rebound by James Worthy. And Bird tips it away. It's still Laker ball. But you have seen in this period the out hustle by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Larry Bird diving to tip the ball away.
That's the mark of champions. Whoever wins this series, they both deserve to be there. It may sound trite, but I believe it.
Loose ball, tied up. Kareem was tied up.
Here's Kareem fighting for position. Parish trying to get in the passing lane. He gives up an easy one now because he didn't quite get there soon enough.
He's going to have a huge advantage of maybe a foot over Gerald Henderson. And a whistle blows. They may jump it again.
Well, you know that Kareem's going to get the ball. You're going to try and perhaps steal it, but there's Magic Johnson standing behind him all along.
And the ball comes down to Los Angeles. Cooper. Tipped away. It might have been Bird. Here come the Celtics. Dennis Johnson will go to the line and shoot. Defensive play inside. It might have been Larry Bird who tipped it away. And the Celtics on the fast break result in a free throw situation for Michael Cooper. That is his 5th personal foul. One more and Cooper's out of the game.
Well, he had to pick up the quick advance of the ball by Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson really tried to put the pressure like Magic Johnson does on the defense. But didn't quite wait till that forward got in the lane like Magic does. Ends up getting fouled, and these are 2 key free throws right now for the Celtics.
Been back and forth in this second half ever since the Lakers put on a 13-2 run. Now a 13-point lead at halftime to 2. Lakers had a 3-point lead at 85-82, but the Celtics have come back and now lead by 3 with 4:35 and running remaining in the 4th period. Johnson. Cooper. And an offensive foul has been called. An offensive foul. And that's against Michael Cooper.
Here's Cooper, puts it in and goes over Dennis Johnson. And Dennis afraid to foul out, and Cooper now going out himself.
So Michael Cooper has fouled out with his 6th personal foul. He scored in the ball game, 9 points. He had 3 assists. He's replaced by Jamal Wilkes. So what does the loss of Cooper mean? I know Larry Bird isn't unhappy with that.
That should turn Bird loose a little bit, although Wilkes guards him pretty well, and he's on the floor right now taking Cooper's place.
Timeout. So we'll see what Wilkes does against Bird. 4:28 remain in the 4th period. The Boston Celtics 104, the LA Lakers 101.
That's Cal Petty's Thunderbird up ahead now. It's specially prepared and modified for racing.
Ford consultant Jackie Stewart.
Over the years, we've learned a lot from all kinds of racing. Things that make their way into the kind of car you drive today. The aerodynamics, the turbo technology, and the double shocks in the rear of this Thunderbird Turbo Coupe were all pioneered by racing. Racing's quite an educator.
Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
There. That was the hot spot where the fire started. The Felixes lost their whole house. But now, they're getting it all back again. From the shake shingles, to the oak cabinets, to the wallpaper in the baby's bedroom. State Farm will pay to replace it all because the Felixes bought State Farm guaranteed replacement cost coverage. So everything's going to be the way it was.
And like a good neighbor,
Even if it costs more than anyone thought it would.
State Farm is there.
Wake up! If you don't graduate, we're through.
I'm bust.
Here, revive with Vivarin.
Vivarin?
Helps wake you up.
Government-appointed experts say it's safe, effective.
Revive with Vivarin.
Who's been using my razor? Mine burns me.
Don't blame your razor. Use my Ice Blue Aqua Velva.
It turns red-hot razor burn to cool comfort. Smooths, too.
My Aqua Velva Men.
There's something about an Ice Blue Aqua Velva Man.
And right now, Brent Musburger is with Kevin Lockery. Brent?
Dick, you know, it's an interesting thing. Dennis Johnson sat on that bench so long, I think he was upset when he finally came in. He's not in the flow of the things for the Celtics right now. Meanwhile, what does Pat Riley do, having lost Michael Cooper?
Well, Pat Riley will bring in word that now we'll have to play Bird. But when they don't get the fast break, the Lakers, they'll go down to Kareem.
All right, let's go back now to Dick and Tommy.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Capacity crowd, the 169th straight sellout at Boston Garden. To see whether the Celtics can even the best-of-7 series at 1-1. Of course, Michael Cooper is already fouled out of the ball game.
Wilkes is going to guard Larry Bird.
They get it into McHale, who's immediately double-teamed. Loose ball, Henderson is there, and a new clock for Boston. Henderson doesn't waste much time. And look at Danny Ainge saluting Henderson. 4 minutes to play. And a 5-point Boston lead. They haven't been able to get it over 5, though, in this 4th period. Worthy. To Kareem. Surrounded. And fouled. And the basket counts. You could not play Kareem Abdul-Jabbar any tougher or closer than the Celtics did on that play.
I'll tell you one thing. I haven't heard me comment too many times about the officials, but boy, there was a lot of purple jerseys in there for more than 3 seconds. Here's Kareem taking that shot with 2 guys on him, but when you're 7'3", you can go over almost anybody.
They were all over him. Kareem hits it. He has 13 points this half. For 19 in the game. And the foul was on Robert Parish, number 4 on him. So it's 106 to 104. A big play for the Lakers. Lakers looking to go up 2-0. And no team has ever come back in a best-of-7 NBA championship or any playoff after losing the first 2 games at home. And that's what the Celtics face right now. They're leading, but not by much. Bird, double team. Johnson, open is Henderson, left of the key. The rebound is McAdoo. And the foul is against Los Angeles, I think. And Pat Riley has to be restrained momentarily by Magic Johnson. And that is about as mad as I've ever seen Riley. Pat Riley is enraged.
Boy, your blood starts to boil when you get to the championship round. It's tough enough during the regular season. But here is the action as McAdoo was pushing off to get the rebound that time, and they caught him before the ball even hit the rim. So that's an unusual call for the official. They usually call it as the ball is coming down.
McAdoo committed the foul. Kevin McHale not scoring as much in this game as he did in game number 1. The Celtics are looking for the W, as Red Auerbach said at the half. Wins, victories. But the Lakers are awfully tough, and with 3:15 to go, they can cut the lead to 2 once more. A pushing foul on Henderson. Celtics in the penalty, so that means Magic Johnson will go to the line and shoot 2.
He is a pretty decent free throw shooter. Plus, he's a second-story man. He's got the consummate guts to play this game. He loves to be under these pressure situations.
You know, people always argue who's better, Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. It's not an easy thing to decide, and maybe it shouldn't be decided.
I don't think there's an answer.
Magic Johnson had a playoff assist record of 24 against Phoenix and broke his own all-star assist record of 22 this year in Denver. And now it's a 2-point game once more.
But it may boil down to how well Gerald Henderson's going to be able to hit that outside shot.
McHale inside, blocked by Kareem to Magic Johnson. And with a good defensive play by Abdul-Jabbar, the Lakers are looking to tie it up with under 3 minutes to play.
They're running at, anytime the ball goes inside the Lakers, they're running at that man.
And let's see, no violation, no backcourt violation. Lakers saved it. Wilkes with 7 seconds on the clock. James Worthy going in. Off the glass. LA has it. Fans didn't like it. It'll be LA ball, and they have 5 seconds to attempt the shot. 2:39 on the clock. It's 108 to 106, Boston. McAdoo doesn't tie it up, and Kareem fouls Parish. Number 4 on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the oldest player in the playoffs at age 37.
Here's Bird getting in the front of James Worthy, and he gets his hand up on McAdoo, and the ball goes right off Larry Bird and out of bounds.
So 0-0, Robert Parish misses an important free throw. He's 0 for 3 from the line. Cedric Maxwell has come in replacing Henderson. Why?
There is a key move by Casey Jones. All his outside shooting is gone except for Larry Bird, and the speed is gone. So the Lakers have a chance to crack it open with a couple of fast breaks.
But what do the Celtics have in there?
They're hoping to really go inside more and bang the boards.
108-106, Parish missed 2. Lakers can tie it up, but McHale blocks the shot. And here's Dennis Johnson. All the way, Dennis Johnson to Bird. And Larry Bird will go to the line. It was Kevin McHale with the defensive play at the other end.
Here's the penetration, but McHale gets in there, swats it away. Johnson, the fastest guy the Celtics have right now, pushes it up the middle. Bird on the wing, wide open for an instant, gets banged. So it could have been a 3-point play.
McAdoo with his 4th foul. Bird on the line. Keep in mind, Parish missed 2 free throws. The Lakers had 2 chances down the court to tie this game, and now Bird can give the Celtics a 4-point lead. 2:14 remain in the 4th period.
Those big people better pay off for Boston. They're trying to give the Lakers only one shot and then get the rebound.
Bird has 24. Worthy 25. Those are the high scores. And there are 2 minutes to play in the fourth period. 110 to 106. Celtics lead the Lakers. And Magic Johnson uses the glass to cut it to 2 once more, and the pressure remains.
Boy, did they move that ball beautifully to find Magic. And again, he loves those game-winning shots.
He has 21. Wilkes playing Bird awfully tight, misses as Bird goes inside, and now a foul is called. A Laker foul.
Here's Larry Bird working against Wilkes. Magic tries to help out, and Worthy comes in at the last instant, and a late whistle. Bird thought he wasn't going to call it. I think he hurt his hand, too.
James Worthy has committed the foul. Bird shooting. Larry Bird had 24 points and 14 rebounds in game number 1. Misses the free throw, so the best the Celtics can have would be a 3-point lead now with 1:34 to go if Bird makes this. A minute and a half remaining. Both teams in the penalty. Both lead players, Bird and Magic Johnson, are out there. Kareem in the half-court game, so important for the Lakers. Knocked away by Parish. Kareem recovers, and driving in is Worthy with a slam and a foul. A basket by James Worthy, who has been nothing short of magnificent in the first 2 games of the series, and a foul as well.
Well, Kareem does find Worthy, who had loosened up, and charges through, and it wasn't, in my mind anyway, any chance he was going to miss that one, and picks up the blocking foul on Maxwell.
And he can tie it up, and he does. So James Worthy, who missed the first shot of the game and then hit 11 in a row, has tied the game at 111 apiece. He has 28. And now Boston wants a timeout. And right now, it would be fitting to remind you that if you like this tremendous playoff action for the NBA championship, there's more. Sunday from the Forum in Inglewood, Game 3 at 3:30 Eastern Time.
Thanks to Bic, I have the shave of John McEnroe, but I still have the serve of Elliot Kaminsky.
John McEnroe and I have 2 things in common. Make that one thing. We both shave with Bic.
And so should you, because Bic is beautiful, smooth, close, comfortable, and only 20 cents.
Let's play. I'll be John McEnroe.
You're not even old enough to shave.
Bic can improve your game, but it can improve your face.
Arthur Ashe.
Yeah?
Is that your Ford Tempo?
Sure is.
Why a Tempo?
Well, as a coach, I know good form when I see it.
Good form?
Sure. Tempo's well designed. And it has good moves.
You like its front-wheel drive?
Yeah, it's great when your opponent is wet roads or snow.
Well put.
I'm learning.
How about Tempo's now outselling all the imports in America?
I know about foreign competition.
Arthur, is it true you have all your trophies in the back seat? Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Timeouts remaining. The Lakers have 3. The Celtics have 2. We have a tie with 1:06 remaining. It'll be Boston ball. And what do, Tom?
Well, unquestionably, with the lineup that the Celtics had in there, they probably will go inside, probably to Larry Bird. The Lakers are going to be packing in again because the Celtics don't have that good outside shooting ball club, but they can only give them one shot. Boston hoping to get the offensive rebound on the miss.
Listen to the crowd support for Boston Celtics. But LA's defense has been superlative. They have held the Celtics to 33% shooting this period. Bird will inbound. 111 with 1:06 to go. Worthy, the leading scorer for the Lakers, and Bird with 25 for Boston. Dennis Johnson. Wilkes is out on top on Bird. Wedman now, guarded by Worthy. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson, fall away, short, didn't hit the rim or the board, and now the Lakers, with 46 seconds to go, have a chance to break the tie. Celtics have had the lead most of the game, but that's not what counts. Magic Johnson is fouled by Dennis Johnson, who fouls out of the ball game. That is his 6th personal foul, but more important, will send Magic Johnson to the line to shoot 2 shots.
2 boo-boos by DJ. Missed through an air ball as time was running down on a 24-second clock, and then commits the foul against Magic, puts him at the line.
To be candid, this has not been a good ball game for Dennis Johnson in any way, shape, or form.
What I think he did was try to force his play too much, not take what the defense was giving him.
Magic Johnson is perfect from the free throw line. He's now 6 for 6. 35 seconds showing on the clock. Celtics have 2 timeouts remaining. And the Lakers are up by 2. Does Casey use him now? No. Henderson replaced Dennis Johnson, who fouled out with 10.
Well, Wedman's in there for the outside shooting.
Bird going to McHale. This is crunch time, really, for Boston. Henderson is open. McHale, and a foul against the Lakers. So McHale went up along with Wedman, and it was a Laker foul, and the Celtics will have a chance to tie, but they have to make the 2 free throws.
This is really when you believe in your defensive philosophy. They're giving up, the Lakers, the outside shot to the Celtics, and Henderson under the gun, knowing he's going to have to take that shot more than likely. What a tough position to be in.
All right, but Maxwell has come in for Scott Wedman now. McHale is on the line. He needs to make both free throws to tie the ball game up, and then the Lakers, with 20 seconds remaining, can take the last shot and try to win.
Well, he's in it for defense, Maxwell, right now, hoping that McHale will hit the 2.
And he doesn't. He misses the first one. And there you can look at the faces of the Celtic hierarchy and Red Auerbach. McHale misses the first, and Pat Riley has told his team to call a timeout after this free throw. McHale misses them both, and now a timeout. So the Lakers do not have to take a shot. They have it with 20 seconds to go and lead the Celtics 113 to 111. And we're going to have a timeout right now, and all of a sudden it's dead quiet in Boston Garden.
Burger King talks to a future customer. Hi there. Bet you're getting tired of applesauce, aren't you? I tell you what, let's think about hamburgers. Yeah, the juicy flame-broiled kind, like at Burger King. Let's think about those delicious juices dripping down. That hot, sizzling beef. Leaves you speechless, doesn't it? The only thing is, you'll have to wait a little while to try one. But only a year, or 2, maybe 3. Introducing the Nighthawk S from Honda. We asked world champion Freddie Spencer to take it for a ride. Because what we find out on the track, you can't find out on the street. Freddie liked the way it handled, the way it accelerated, the way it stopped. In fact, Freddie liked the Nighthawk S so much, he never brought it back.
When I started delivering beer back in 1893, the supermarket was a blacksmith shop. Well, those days are gone. But maybe not entirely.
You see this? Today's Milwaukee's best. It's got a smooth, old-time taste, old-time quality, and a real fair, old-time price. Milwaukee's best. It's just the kind of deal that his great-great-granddaddy would have loved.
Introducing Milwaukee's best. Old-time quality at an old-time price.
One of the many stories in this fourth period has been the free throw shooting, as the Lakers have the lead by 2 points. The Celtics have missed 10. The Lakers have missed none. So now what are the Celtics, what can they do with the Lakers having the ball with 20 seconds to play?
Well, they're going to try and make a steal here, and they got their best defensive team in there right now. Danny Ainge, Henderson, Maxwell, Bird, and McHale. So they're going to try and get over the inbounded pass.
Actually, 18 remain, and the Lakers, keep in mind, do not have to take a shot. Worthy will inbound to Magic Johnson. Worst comes to worst, the Celtics will have to foul, and there's a steal by Henderson, who lays it up and in. Boston, but it's not over yet.
The leprechaun at work here at Boston Garden. A steal right when you need it. Fabled things have happened, and this will be one of them if the Celts win this game. A steal by Gerald Henderson.
But now there are 13 seconds to go, and the Lakers can play for the last shot to break the tie. The Boston Celtics are in a little better position than they were before, but they're not out of the woods yet. Now, what do the Lakers want to do now?
Well, they've got the automatic 2 points in the sky hook of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and if they rush at Kareem, somebody may be open going quickly to the basket. One of the favorite targets on that type of strategy is Magic Johnson after he gives the ball to Kareem.
At what point do the Lakers have to take the shot?
Well, most coaches have plays time so that they make sure that you can get the shot and at least perhaps a rebound attempt. What play they use depends on what time they go for.
So is it conceivable the Lakers can score and then the Celtics can still get that last shot?
Yes, if they take the shot too soon. But normally the coaches have these plays timed pretty well. They know, say, go for it at 8 seconds, and then 1 or 2 passes, they'll go for it. There is the guy, goggles and all. Normally, he's the go-to guy. He has won many a ball game. I can remember him here in Milwaukee sending it into overtime and beating us in the 6th game. So he is capable of making a good one.
The crowd is chanting, beat LA. The Lakers lead 1-0 in the best of 7, trying to make it 2-0 and going home with a big cushion. Larry Bird and company are trying to pull it out. They'd be happy with overtime right now. Dick Stockton, Tom Heinsohn, all of us live at Boston Garden. Bedlam.
They're going to get up all over Worthy, I think, to try and cut down where the pass will go to.
Worthy inbounds to Byron Scott. You watch the clock at the lower part of your screen. They're looking for Kareem. Magic Johnson keeps looking inside. 2 seconds, 1 second, and they don't get it off. The Lakers don't get a shot off. And we go to overtime, and Tom, the Los Angeles Lakers misjudged the clock.
Well, we said the coaches have these plays timed. That one was a little bit too close, Dick.
That was a 13-second play that went 15. Let's watch the time run out. Does this remind you of the Dallas game?
I think he didn't know where the clock was. You know, you look at that 24-second clock a lot of times. 4, I don't think he was trying to find out how much time was left. Didn't really see it. So no shot.
And we're going to overtime.
First thing you notice about the Mazda RX-7 is its sleek, slippery styling. Then you notice amenities like contoured sports seats, a redesigned instrument cluster, and 5-speed overdrive. You also can't help but notice the Mazda RX-7's outstanding value. But perhaps most noticeable of all is just how you feel at times like these. The more you look, the more you like.
The Mazda experience.
The first thing you learn as a professional photographer is don't take chances. It's just not worth it. I'm talking about the paper we have our pictures printed on. Kodak paper. The overwhelming choice of professional photographers. We ask for it for our personal pictures, too. Insist on Kodak paper. Wherever you see this sign, don't take chances.
Nobody looks at office automation quite like Wang. Other computer companies only see the pieces to the puzzle. Data processing, word processing, personal computing. But Wang looks at how all the pieces fit together and gives you one solution that fits everyone's needs. A total solution no other computer company can match. Bringing everything in your office closer together is what puts Wang way ahead.
This weekend, the long and demanding Congressional course will test a top PGA field when they play the 17th Kemper Open, starting Saturday on CBS Sports.
We're back and we're ready for a 5-minute overtime period as the Celtics, who were seemingly doomed, got a steal and a basket from Gerald Henderson. And then the Lakers ran the clock out. Brent Musburger and Kevin Lockery were in Dallas when Derek Harper ran the clock out, thinking his team was ahead, and they weren't. So history has kind of repeated itself here, and the Celtics win the tip.
So it can happen to the best of them.
It did to the Lakers right there, giving Boston a chance. Bird hard off the glass, and the strategy doesn't work. It'll be Laker ball.
He tried to pass it to himself off the glass. That's a pretty smart move. It didn't work, but right idea.
5-minute overtime.
But Maxwell is guarding Magic Johnson, a bigger man, cutting down his vision perhaps a little bit.
Kareem inside, no basket, traveling. Traveling called against Kareem. Each team has 2 timeouts in the overtime period. And on the 4th foul, it's the penalty. Those are the overtime rules. Still 113 apiece. Boston controlling. Bird looking for Maxwell inside. And an illegal defense called against the Lakers, and that's going to mean a technical foul. That's the 4th time it's been called, and Byron Scott was in the middle.
His man was way out past the foul line, and he's not allowed to drop into that painted area. So Bird at the line for the technical foul.
Oh. The Celtics, and Bird was going to wrap. I think Bird wanted to pound that ball into the upper deck here at the Garden. He missed the free throw. Boston still has possession as a result of the technical. Henderson, guarded by Byron Scott. Magic Johnson is on Maxwell, who has the ball now. Scott coming out to meet Henderson. Plenty of time on the shot clock, and here's Parish driving the lane. Kareem had come out, and Parish found an opening.
Yeah, I forgot about Robert Parish, Kareem, and let him steam down the paint.
1:15, 1:13. Boston. McAdoo drives in and is fouled, and he'll try to tie it up.
This is the most I've seen Bob McAdoo drive to the basket in years. He usually likes to stand outside and take that outside shot. Red Auerbach told us the other day we're not going to give Bob McAdoo the outside shot.
He has scored 13. That's the 4th personal foul on Larry Bird. And now the Lakers have caught the Celtic foul shooting disease. James Worthy with 28 leads the Lakers. Larry Bird with 25 leads the Celtics, who are up by 1 point with 3:48 remaining in the overtime period. They go once again, they go inside to Maxwell, and they lose the ball. Turns it over to the Lakers.
Well, Henderson was wide open. Maxwell, the 2nd best passer on the team, throws a poor one.
Magic Johnson, long range, hits.
He said, Pat Riley, forget about Kareem. They're backing off. I'm taking the outside shot.
So the Lakers lead by 116 to 115. And Magic Johnson is 25 points now. Henderson working against Byron Scott, penetrating inside, and he's called for the offensive foul. Henderson on the offensive foul turns it over to the Lakers.
The Celtics persist on driving into that packed, painted area. Blue jerseys all over the place.
The foul story, McAdoo, 1 from a foul out, the others with 4. The only ones in real foul trouble are the ones with 5 right now. Magic Johnson, unless we go into 3 overtimes, and we might. Kareem feeding Magic Johnson. Does he do that so well, that inside pass?
Well, Maxwell just forgot to stay with him. And Kareem will get it to you when you're open.
So now the Lakers have a 3-point lead, which matches their biggest lead of the ballgame.
This is one of their finer plays. And Maxwell looking at Kareem, lets Magic go by, and the alert Kareem makes an easy pass.
And a timeout called by Boston. They have 1 left in the overtime.
Here's to good friends.
Terrific reunion.
Yeah, the last time we were here, we made history.
Tonight is kind of special.
I stole that ball. I made the pass.
I made the shot.
Make that shot again, we'll buy you a loan, Rob.
The beer will pour. Must say some more.
Hey, what can I tell you? We still got it.
Never lost it.
Let it be low and brown.
How come we're hiding in these bushes, boss?
The
catch them illegal distance balls. Dimwit, let's go! All right, hand over that there hot ball.
Hot ball? Oh, no, Sheriff, it's the even longer top flight. And a higher flying Top Flight XL. The longest balls.
The new Top Flights. Anything longer must be illegal.
By the way, Sheriff.
Yep.
What's your handicap?
Him.
A lot of good old boys around here know the best places to hunt and fish. Places that are hard to get to and get through and get around. That's why they got the original, the Honda ATC. The ATC will get you through water. It'll get you through swamp and mud. The fact is, the ATC works so good down here. There's a story going around that Mr. Honda used to live on the bayou. Everybody know he lived up by Shreveport.
We're in overtime at Boston Garden. Right now, let's go to Brent and Kevin.
All right, Dick, did you ever think you'd see the day when Magic Johnson would dribble out the clock like he did, but he got the lead back for him? Now, the pressure's on KC and the Celtics. Coach, what will they do?
Brent, I think they have to bring Danny Ainge back in the game sooner or later because it's going to be from the outside. He's been hot all game. They've gone with Bird at guard for the last couple of minutes. I think bring Ainge back in the game for the jump shot.
All right, let's go back now to Dick and Tommy.
Well, Danny Ainge remains on the bench.
They bring Whitman in for the outside shooting, so wrong guy, right idea, though.
Well, maybe the right guy.
Well, what I mean is strategy.
118, 115. Every possession becomes very important here with the Lakers leading by 3. Bird into Worthy. Loose ball taken down by Magic Johnson, who now has 10 rebounds, 8 assists to go along with his 27 points. Magic Johnson taking charge. He wants the ball at the clutch moments, as does Bird. Here's Kareem with a long sky hook, and Bird the rebound. Loops it out to Henderson. Henderson drives in and is fouled and gets the basket.
Bird with a heads-up play. Henderson on the fly. Magic trying to get back in it. Better he should have let him go all the way. Just nudged him slightly at the end. But Henderson a chance for a tie-up.
And Magic Johnson has picked up his 5th personal foul. One more and he's out of the ball game. You saw Maxwell come in for the Celtics. But Gerald Henderson has been an 11th hour hero for the Boston Celtics, who have tied up the game at 118. Henderson with 16 points, and we're now close to 2 minutes remaining in the overtime period. Worthy is fouled going in. It was a shooting foul with exactly 2 minutes to play. Jamal Wilkes coming into the ball game. Larry Bird with his 5th personal foul. So Wilkes comes in, but the drama heightens as Larry Bird has 5 and Magic Johnson has 5.
They're flip-flopping defenses and offenses, both coaches. Now Whitman will come in for offensive purposes. Maxwell will sit down, probably.
And Scott Whitman coming in now for offense for the outside shooting. As Worthy has broken the tie and can't convert the second. Boston trailing LA by 1. Under 2 minutes to play. We're in overtime. Celtics, clutch fashion, came back. McHale turnaround. And Boston leads again.
They isolated McHale beautifully down close to the basket. Every Celtic player was up above the foul line.
To 119, Boston leading Los Angeles. Game 3 will be Sunday, 3:30 Eastern on CBS. Here's McAdoo left open, and he gives the Lakers the lead. They go back and forth, and this game is turning into one of the memorable playoff games between these teams, and there have been many. Parrish loses it. He could not control the high pass, and now the Lakers with the ball and a 1-point lead. You watch the clock in the lower right-hand corner. There's a roar constantly here at Boston Garden. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Magic may not know it. 3 seconds. 1 second. Puts it up. And Jamal Wilkes winds up with the ball and gets gets it out to Johnson for a new clock.
You forget about Wilkes on the board sometimes.
Pat Riley was yelling for a timeout, and he gets it with 45 seconds to go. So each team now has one timeout remaining in this overtime period. With 45 seconds, LA has the ball and a 1-point lead.
Burger King talks to a future customer. Hi there. Bet you're getting tired of applesauce, aren't you? I tell you what, let's think about hamburgers. Yeah, the juicy flame-broiled kind, like at Burger King. Let's think about those delicious juices dripping down. That hot, sizzling beef. Leaves you speechless, doesn't it? The only thing is, you'll have to wait a little while to try one. But only a year, or 2, maybe 3.
Introducing the Nighthawk S from Honda. We asked world champion Freddie Spencer to take it for a ride. Because what we find out on the track, you can't find out on the street. Freddie liked the way it handled, the way it accelerated, the way it stopped. In fact, Freddie liked the Nighthawk S so much, he never brought it back.
When I started delivering beer back in 1893, the supermarket was a blacksmith shop. Well, those days are gone. But maybe not entirely.
You see this? Today's Milwaukee's best. It's got a smooth, old-time taste, old-time quality, and a real fair, old-time price. Milwaukee's best. It's just the kind of deal that his great-great-granddaddy would have loved.
Introducing Milwaukee's best. Old-time quality at an old-time price.
And this tense battle has turned into a test of wills between the best two teams in the NBA. The Lakers with a 121-120 lead over the Celtics, who won 62 games, the best record in the league. The Lakers in the NBA Championship Series for the 3rd consecutive year would like to take a 2-0 lead back to Los Angeles. In the regular season, the Lakers won both games. So the Celtics are looking for their first win of the year against Los Angeles. 45 seconds remain in the overtime period. 19 seconds on the shot clock.
They changed the defensive matchups to Celtics. Henderson is guarding Magic Johnson now instead of Maxwell. And Maxwell's got Wilkes.
Defense crucial here for Boston. The Lakers looking for a 3-point lead if they can, which would put a whole load of pressure on the shoulders of Boston. Here's Wilkes. Maxwell on him. They get it to Kareem with 6 seconds on the shot clock. 5, 4, 3, skyhook. Loose ball and a foul against Los Angeles. With 25 seconds remaining in the overtime period. Let's see who it's on. James Worthy, apparently. And that's number 3 on Worthy.
They put the clamp on Kareem down in that low post, made him take a tough shot. And then the ensuing rebound, Worthy over the back of Bird, I believe.
And a timeout called for by Boston, and that's their last timeout.
Experience Mazda.
The first thing you notice about the Mazda RX-7 is its sleek, slippery styling. Then you notice amenities like contoured sports seats, a redesigned instrument cluster, and 5-speed overdrive. You also can't help but notice the Mazda RX-7's outstanding value. But perhaps most noticeable of all is just how you feel at times like these. The more you look, the more you like.
The Mazda Experience.
The first thing you learn as a professional photographer is don't take chances. It's just not worth it. I'm talking about the paper we have our pictures printed on. Kodak paper. The overwhelming choice of professional photographers. We ask for it for our personal pictures, too. Insist on Kodak paper. Wherever you see this sign, don't take chances.
Nobody looks at office automation quite like Wang. Other computer companies only see the pieces to the puzzle. Data processing, word processing, personal computing. But Wang looks at how all the pieces fit together and gives you one solution that fits everyone's needs. A total solution no other computer company can match. Bringing everything in your office closer together is what puts Wang way ahead.
This weekend, the long and demanding Congressional course will test a top PGA field when they play the 17th Kemper Open, starting Saturday on CBS Sports.
With 25 seconds to go in overtime and the Lakers leading by 1, it's Boston ball. Is Larry Bird your man? He's 8 for 22 shooting tonight and only 38% shooting in the 2 games thus far.
If I were Casey Jones, I wouldn't care. Get the ball in the hands of Larry Bird. But they're more than likely, if the Celtics do that, they'll double team him and force somebody else to take the shot.
The next foul for each team will put them over the limit and force a penalty. Here's Scott Wedman from the corner. And now the Lakers call their last timeout. The Lakers call a timeout after Scott Wedman hits a clutch shot from the corner. Scott Wedman, who was an all-star at Kansas City and languished on the bench in Boston after being acquired by Cleveland. Not speed of foot, but a good outside shooter and a veteran, has given the Celtics a 122 to 121 lead. As you can see, there are no more timeouts for either side, but the Lakers have 14 seconds now to set up what they hope will be the winning basket. We're in overtime, Thomas.
I think Magic is going to know where that clock is now to count it down. But again, their prime man is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Get him the ball, see what develops. He's so smart. He gets the sky hook off, or if they double team him, he is exceptional at finding the open man. The thing is for the Lakers to have some decent outside shooters. Wilkes will be an important part of this thing as one of their favorite targets if Kareem gets doubled.
Keep in mind, when there are no timeouts, that means if the Celtics get a rebound, they cannot call a timeout. Or if the Lakers make the basket, the Celtics have to push the ball up the court. Listen to him here. Deafening roar at the Garden. Urban Magic Johnson. This is a proud team. They've been champions 2 of the last 3 years.
And it's no easy thing to inbound the ball the way the rules are stated right now. You can't toss it into the back court. You have to put it into the front court. The Celtics well aware of that, and they're pretty good on steals.
They get 2 out of the last 5, but they're used to this. 14 seconds to go. Wilkes has it, 13. Loose ball, and the Celtics have it. And now the Lakers have regained the ball. Their ball was knocked away off of Larry Bird with 8 seconds to go, and LA gets another chance. Just as Boston had another chance in the waning seconds of regulation time. Lakers have 8 seconds. 122, 121 Boston. McAdoo. Steal. And the Boston Celtics, if they hold on, will win it. And there's a foul. Let's watch the scramble, Tom.
Well, I got blocked out, to tell you the truth. I don't know what happened. I'm seeing it for the first time. And here's Parish, of all people, making a steal against Bob McAdoo. Now, Celtics end up with possession of the ball. The question is, does Larry Bird make the 2? Or does he hit one off the rim and let the clock go? Finch got caught with that strategy one time.
9 for 13 from the line. And Larry Bird, with 2 seconds to go, I think if you're the Celtics, you take the 3-point lead and say, beat me with 2 seconds to go on a 3-pointer.
Particularly with LA out of timeouts, they got to take it out underneath the basket.
It's a 3-point lead. It's interesting that the Laker bench is signaling for timeout. They don't have any more. 2 seconds to go. There's the long pass. And no time runs off. Boston will get it back, I think.
At the other end of the court, where the ball was launched by the Lakers.
Pat Riley shows the feeling of the Los Angeles group. It was a comeback for the Boston Celtics that was improbable, considering the clock and the time. Gerald Henderson with a big steal. Overtime. Great defense. And that'll do it. We're going to go to Los Angeles for Game 3 on Sunday, all even at 1 game apiece, as the Boston Celtics, in a grueling, dramatic victory, have upended the Los Angeles Lakers 124 to 121, and the Lakers came oh so close to putting the Celtics in a big hole, down 2 games to nothing. But it didn't happen, and the Celtics rallied to win by 3 points. And so now this series, which everyone had talked about as perhaps going the limit, being a great clash between 2 of the proud teams in professional basketball. And now it looks like we have the makings of the terrific series that was anticipated. So with the score 124-121, Boston over Los Angeles. Right now, let's go to Brent Musburger.
All right, Dick, you'll never see one any better than that. But, Kevin, the Lakers had this game, and when you give a championship game away, that could spell big trouble.
Exactly right. It could cause a little problem for the Lakers. They felt they were 2-0. They're going back 1-1. It's a big difference. They made key errors down the stretch, which they shouldn't do, particularly from their outstanding players.
All right, the series now moves to the West Coast. Game 3, of course, is going to be on Sunday afternoon. Right now, let's quickly go down to Pat O'Brien.
Thank you, Brent. With Gerald Henderson, tell me about that great steal at the end of regulation.
Oh, we had to have something. We had to have that steal, and, you know, I just went for it. I was in great position, and, you know, they kind of lofted the ball up, and, you know, as far as that go, I was going to go for it. I had to go for it and got the steal and put it in.
Doesn't look like anything's going to be easy in this series.
Oh, it's not, you know, but we had to have this game, and I just thank God that, you know, it happened for us this way.
And you got to feel a lot better about going back to Los Angeles for Sunday's game.
Oh, no question. You know, they don't play that well at home, so we're going to come back, and we're going to try to win a game out there, and that's going to be it for us.
Okay. Congratulations, Gerald. Let's go back to Brent Musburger.
All right, Pat, thank you. So, indeed, now it'll be the Celtics and Lakers all even when we get to the Forum. And I'm Brent Musburger, along with Dick Stockton, Tommy Heinsohn, Kevin Lockery, and Pat O'Brien, saying so long for the Boston Garden, where the final score was 124-121 Celtics in overtime. We'll be in LA, Game 3 of the championship series, Sunday at 3:30 Eastern. On Saturday at 2 Eastern, CBS Sports Saturday Special Edition as Game 3 of the MISL Championship between the Baltimore Blast and the St. Louis Steamers. Then at 4:30, it's third round coverage of the Kemper Open Live. And coverage of the National Basketball Association has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
Fly the friendly skies of United, serving more of the nation's top 100 business centers than anyone.
You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies.
This is CBS.